Kaboom!
Let's party. I'm ready to party.
We're rolling, as always.
From the Mommy Dome.
You are listening to your two mommies.
Plus one extra jeans today.
There's a stepmommy here today. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that in a second. He's very misbehaved. He's just a real pain, this guy. But this episode of Your Mom's House is brought to you by Gamefly.com. Gamefly is the video game rental system that delivers right to your door if you have a mailbox. And
if you have a mailbox or if you have a computer. Yes,
if you don't have a mailbox, it can go into your computer.
It just flies there.
Yep. And they have over 8,000 titles. Do you know how many that is? That's a lot.
It's a lot more than 8.
That's 10,000 times that amount. Is that right?
That's about.
Yep, I'm good at math.
I didn't major in it.
There are many games you can play. All the Call of Duties, Halos. Let's say you want to play Super Mario Kart, if that exists.
That's sure
available.
Exists.
That's there.
Yeah.
They have that, and you can play that.
You can play all of these dance games, games.
You can murder people.
I love to kill people.
Fitness? You like fitness?
Not so much, but I'll play it with you in our living room
Wii?
together.
Here's the thing: they have games for Wii, PS3, Xbox 360, 3DS, other systems that I'm not aware of. Also, they have those.
Any system you got. Gamefly
and here's the offer they're giving to us, to our listeners. If they go to Gamefly.com/mom, M-O-M, they get a 15-day free trial. Our guest is losing his mind right now.
He can't
just signed up.
it.
Put your phone away. Do that later.
OMG.
15-day free trial. Do you know what 15 days?
That's like a fortnight and a day.
There you go. You get an extra day. And they came to us originally with, we want to give you guys a 14-day free trial. I said, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, mommy.
You give our listeners an extra day.
That's right.
They said, fine. And then that's the deal
and
now.
Then we got it. And the good thing is that you can play these games, you can beat the game.
And then send it back.
And send it right
That's
back.
the thing. That's the whole advantage of the rental system.
Yeah.
Why buy a $60 game that you're going to beat in 2 days?
Right.
And then your friends are like, do you want to play that game? You go, I've already beat it. I don't want to play it anymore. You take it. And they go, I'll give you $3 for it. You're like, I paid $60.
That's right.
What kind of deal is that?
Some friend.
Some friend. You tell them rent the game. Don't buy the game.
That's right, buddy.
See all these? Rented.
Right.
Got to send them back soon.
See?
Everything here is rented.
We'll try it out for free.
All of this is rented.
www.gamefly.com/mom.
/mom. 15-day trial. All right. You go to yourmomshousepodcast.com and that's headquarters. You can see all the videos, the links, everything, dates, live shows, and send us an email at yourmomspodcast@gmail.com. If you listen on iTunes, please hit the subscribe button. That you get the episodes they'll just arrive like video games that you rented.
Magics.
You're just renting it, and it's all free. You can free. If you're on Facebook, I know some people are like, I don't do iTunes, I don't do Facebook, I don't do Google. They're all monsters, corporations. Yeah, no more of that. All right. Well, if you still play the Facebook game, you can like our fan page, and every recent episode streams there live, so you don't have to go anywhere else. It just is right there. That out of the way. Christina, you and I will be at the Ontario Improv.
That's Ontario, America. California, not Canada.
Some of the Canadians get upset about that.
Yeah, I know.
But we'll be at the Ontario Improv this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, March 30 through April 1.
That's exciting. Come see us.
Come see us. Come to the thing.
And then I'm going to be in Cleveland April 12th through 15 at the Cleveland. Is it a Funny Bone there?
No, it's Jesus Christ.
I forget. Is it?
What
an
are you
improv?
doing?
The Cleveland Improv. I haven't been there yet.
You're ruining it.
It's all new. And then in Chicago at the Chicago Improv, April 19th through 20. So come see your mommy.
No, April 19th through 22nd.
22nd. Didn't I say that?
You said April 19th through 20, like you're there for 2 days.
Whatever. I was mesmerized by our guest.
Okay.
You guys don't even know how lucky you are who's sitting here next to us.
It's very handsome. I will be taping a Comedy Central stand-up show April 3rd. That's next week at the El Rey Theater. Tickets are free, and I have you can just look at my Twitter or Facebook page. There's a link to it. It's a great show. It's hosted by TJ Miller. There are great comics on it. Chris Hardwick, Reggie Watts, Jonah Ray, other people.
That's a fun taping.
That's going to be
show tapings are fun. You guys get to see how show business is made.
We need some of you at this. Please come, because I know Chris Hardwick's he's what's known as very popular, so he's gonna have a lot of people there.
Yeah.
So why don't you 7 of you come and fight the 3,000 that come for him?
Yeah.
And we'll win. And then our fantastic guest, Mr. Paul F. Tompkins.
Well,
has a Comedy Central 1 hour special.
Why did you roll your eyes? The listener can't see. It's just us in here. You rolled your eyes when you said 1 hour.
That was fun. That was fun to do. I've been thinking about this all day. I told Christina that what we should do now, we didn't plan it out, is ask our guests what they have, like.
You said guests.
I know, that was
weird.
weird.
I heard you, Stoops.
You guys really pick at each other.
We started it today.
We started
He started today. It was my date, so now it's Tom's turn.
What I want to do, though, is ask, like, say it, like, when we have a guest on, even if we've known what they've done, like, so what have you done? And then you start with, like, well, like, I was on Mr. Show, and then we go, like, they had a lot of people on that show. Like, why is that? Like, that was there's a lot of...
As if I'm trying to pretend it's mine.
Yeah, and then we shit on...
I'm going to, like, elevate myself above my station.
No, just even, like, everything that you have done that is great, we just keep going, like, so what? Are you Larry David? Did you create that show?
Exactly.
You just keep shitting on everything you've done?
Yeah, millions of people been in and out of that show.
No, it's not a big thing. What else? What did you create? Did you create a show?
No, I guess I didn't.
So why are you acting like you've done everything?
He's so uppity.
I didn't mean to. I just
like,
he's like the president of show business. You keep telling us.
No, I was just trying to.
You ever been in any movies?
Yeah.
What have you been in?
I'm afraid to answer now because I feel like.
What are you in?
Can I preface it by saying I know that I'm not the star of the movie?
Sure.
All right, I was in There Will Be Blood.
Can I tell you how I know that's not true?
What do you mean it's not?
Can I tell you how I know that's not true?
Go ahead.
I wrote and directed that movie.
What?
And I know you weren't in it.
No, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
I know that. No, I was there. You did not write and direct There Will Be Blood.
And directed There Will Be Blood.
He did.
Shot it in Albuquerque.
You can't just shot it in Albuquerque.
No, it took a whole week for him to write it and shoot it.
No, hold on a second. Maybe you wrote and directed a movie called There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the conversation ends. You've done anything else before?
I gotta say, that really works for retaining the upper hand, and that's where the conversation ends. I had no comeback for that.
Yeah,
I know
for sure.
Tom's controlling.
Don't air our laundry here.
Mm-hmm.
I bet people know.
Now that
listeners know,
we actually we stopped before we finished the promotion.
That's true.
April 21st. That's a big deal. You have a Comedy Central special, 11 p.m.
Yes.
What's the name of the special?
It's called Laboring Under Delusions.
Is this the hour that I saw in Australia?
Yes, it is.
I can't wait to talk about it. We'll talk about it in a moment.
Oh, we will.
And the same night at Largo, you will
in West Hollywood.
In West Hollywood, it's How to Sharpen Pencils.
Yes, this guy David Reese is doing this show. It's a book release show.
Okay.
He's written this book called How to Sharpen Pencils, which is a really, really funny book, but also there's a lot of information in there about pencils.
Really?
I swear to God.
That's so bizarre.
I kind of love that.
He's a political... he's known for his political cartoons. He did a strip called "How to Get Your War On" during the Bush years, and he has moved on from that for the time being and started doing these live shows where he would sharpen. He would do what he calls artisanal pencil sharpening, where he's got like a whole he's got an apron and goggles and like these crazy headlamps that he wears, and he sharpens a pencil at a time. And he charges people money for it. But he's going to read excerpts from the book, and then I'm guesting on, I don't even know what I'm doing on the show yet, but I'll do something. Andy Daly, who's also very funny.
Holy shit,
will be
that
on
guy
the show.
funny.
It's going to be I'm really looking forward to this show.
And you know what I love about this? Sounds weird, there's a weird aspect to it, which for me is way more interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it's like, you're like, there's a real guy sharpening pencils.
Yes.
You're like, yeah.
This will be an interesting show for sure. And it will be funny. David is a really, really, really funny guy.
So there you have it. April 21st, you can see Paul on Comedy Central, and then you can see him in person and touch his face.
You can see me in person, touch my face.
Yeah.
Then by the time you get home, there's my
Comedy
special is
special.
just coming on.
It's a whole night of Paul F. Tompkins.
We have an official show open. So here we go. Let's start the show. You ready to start it?
Brace yourself.
I'm completely ready for this.
Let's do this.
This is big time.
Who is Randy?
Don't bring anyone mother into this. Your mom in the fucking stand.
Welcome to your mom's house with Tom Segura, and
Christina Pajitsky.
welcome to your mom's house.
And that's our official.
I like it.
You like that?
It's aggressive.
Very aggressive.
In your face.
Yeah. Just
I really
like
aggression in general.
Sure, who doesn't?
And I like inappropriate aggression.
Absolutely.
That's my favorite
It's the
kind.
best kind of aggression.
When somebody, like when you're in a restaurant, you hear someone like scream and you're like, this is not the place to do that. That really makes me laugh a lot.
When do you think aggression is appropriate?
Well, I mean, I think there's justified things like, let's say somebody mistreats you or tries to manipulate you or, does something that merits that type of response. But then I've had one time.
Let me check in with Christina about
Sure.
this.
Yeah, I feel like
wouldn't you call that assertiveness as opposed to aggression?
Yeah, but you know what I like the best?
What?
I like homeless aggression.
Sure.
Like when homeless people are crazy
Absolutely.
and then they yell at
Sure.
nothing. That's my favorite kind of
No,
aggression.
mental illness is the best.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, there's what can touch it.
Some people get really upset about enjoying that because, you shouldn't.
You know what's funny is that I've started to become more and more upset when I witness it in person. Mm-hmm. But hearing other people's stories, I can still enjoy.
Yeah,
because it's like it's taken out of a certain context of reality.
Right.
So it's like, just overhearing that.
Right. Like
is
when you
a
hear
crazy
it,
thing to overhear, and
when
I
you hear it on
laugh at that.
stage, it's always funny. Like somebody's, I was doing this. It doesn't have the same it doesn't affect you in a sad way. If somebody tells has a bit about then the homeless guy did this and then he peed in a cup and threw it on. Right. You're like, and then he starts
crying.
And they're not aware that we're laughing at them. That's
right.
the best part. So you can
that
do
is the
it. You're
best
allowed
part.
to if they don't know.
That's very sensitive, and I do appreciate
You're welcome.
that on site.
Problem solved.
I think, just aggression in general. I think you're right. That was maybe was I describing assertiveness versus aggression?
I think so, because I guess in my mind, aggression is always a needless thing where it's like.
Oh, right.
All of a sudden, this guy's in my face for no reason, or he's trying to start a fight, or
that is funnier.
It's hilarious.
It's absolutely funnier
when somebody's clearly trying to pick a fight with me for no reason because they're a bully and they know they can beat me.
Mm-hmm.
Has that happened to
you?
you?
It always makes me laugh a little bit.
Wait, has that happened to you lately?
No, not in a long time. I gotta say, not in a long time.
But high school?
No, I would say in my adult life that has happened. Like there was some guy at a bar one time who was like clearly had a few too many drinks and was starting to get like what he thought was subtly insulting towards me, just like somebody else sitting at the bar, and it was weird. It was really weird.
What was his beef with you? Like, what do you think?
I think he just didn't like the way I looked, and I think that he, it was like me and my friend were having a good time laughing, and I think that bothered him.
I definitely had.
I can see that though. About
the times I've had the.
Oh no! Look, I bring it out in people.
Your senseless joyfulness.
Absolutely.
Damn
What's worse?
I've had aggression come at bars many times.
Yeah.
And alcohol always plays a factor in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have also had one time Justin and Casey came out here for New Year's, and we were just three single dudes not hooking up with chicks, and we're at a bar. We find our way on a bar on New Year's, and we start dancing like idiots, but laughing and making fun of each other. Laugh, and these guys were like, "You guys are fucking assholes," like it had this total like. Flex the chest, like look what dicks he's like. We're like, but we're having a good time. Like we're just having a good time.
Just the idea that you weren't caring what other people thought.
Right.
is like, oh, we got to destroy these guys.
Yes. And I could see it too. We were just having fun.
Yeah,
but that's a dude thing. Girls have aggressiveness, but it's usually silent. Or like you talk shit about a girl across like who does she think she is looking so pretty?
It's the point and laugh as opposed to
yeah. Guys will kind of confront you on it. You know?
That's terrible.
I had a guy one time.
Why are you making me feel this way?
Yeah,
another time
fault.
At a bar, I came from a wedding and went to a bar with friends, and it was in DC, and it was just more of a dive bar. So we were dressed up and walk in to the bathroom. This guy goes, "Nice suit." But like, nice suit, faggot, you know. Right. And I was like, at first, I actually had the second, like, I was like, thank you. I was about to be like, this it is a nice suit. Thank you, I appreciate you observing. Then I was like, oh, he's saying like you're a douchebag because you're in a suit.
That's
and
I
was like, thanks.
What circumstances could ever lead to a bunch of people in suits coming into a bar? It's impossible.
It's ridiculous.
But it must
this isn't
be
an
crazy
office.
as a guy, like to have your physical being threatened all the time. Like as a girl, I guess I'm always like, I could get raped right now, but I don't think about it. Like when I go out
mean it
every
as an option?
night. Like it's an option, yeah. Like it can happen.
It's one of the things I could do.
But dudes can like pick.
You
a
could
fight
get double
with you.
team raped right now.
Oh my god,
you could.
Do you really?
I mean,
Paul
you
F.
could.
Tompkins?
Yeah, if
this
you wanted to.
gentle lamb.
If I held your,
I'm a gentle
if
lamb.
I,
Thank you,
You're
Christina.
so sweet. There's
if
no
I held your head down
all
on the
woolly.
floor and I stood on your neck, and then he just did whatever he wanted on the back.
Do you talk to your wife this way ever, Paul? Do you threaten her with violence?
I don't talk to my wife this way. I do talk about her this way.
There's an important distinction in there.
To my therapist.
Yeah.
Like, another thing. Let me just get this out. It's unprofessional.
It is.
He
It
should
is.
not let me do that.
You shouldn't do that. But women, you don't think ever feel that?
No, I'm saying that the threat isn't like, is that chick going to beat the shit out of me tonight?
Right.
The threat's different. Our physical being is threatened in a sense of like, you're walking alone in a dark parking lot.
Right.
Will I get raped?
Right. You're not thinking in public, hanging out at a club or something like, oh, this person's going to come over and challenge me to a fight.
Right. That's bananas.
Yeah. It's
like,
really weird.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very fair or logical.
There are moments too when you're a guy where you go, like where you're like, oh, it is about to go down. Like this guy might throw a punch. Mm-hmm. I had that in the bathroom. Also, of a bar. Bars are bad. Is basically the point of this podcast.
True. It's true.
Is that don't go to a bar. But I've had a guy shove me.
But you know
in the
what?
bathroom.
If you go to a bar, go to places where that sort of thing does not happen.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
You can kind of pick your spots.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You know who I heard about? Who's the guy that was? Russell Crowe.
Are we about to dish?
I'm about to do that. Now, my driver, this driver. Oh, sorry. This driver in Pittsburgh, he was like, I used to pick up Russell Crowe. And it turns out Russell Crowe's thing, like what he likes to do while he's on set, is get hammered, number one. No. And then he likes to go to the bars and pick fights with dudes at night. So like that was his thing where he would just go and fight. And then he would show up to set with like bruises and shit. Like that's what got his...
To prove he's a man and not a sissy actor.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Because he comes probably from... What, he's Aussie or he's from New Zealand or something.
Yeah.
And it's all tough guy kind of culture. And then he became the world's most successful actor. They're like, are you soft now?
Right.
And then maybe
like,
that's it.
I still beat people up all the time.
I'm always getting into fights.
I get hammered and I fucking start shit.
That's such a very strange hobby. Like I like to get drunk and beat the shit out of guys.
That is a very strange thing. I didn't want to forget.
Yeah.
Your special that's going to air that I saw the hour in Australia.
You saw it really being put together. That's true.
It was awesome.
Thank you, Tom.
And one of the things that really stood out to me, and I said this even back then. It was last year. I think I saw it.
Yes, that's right.
I told you this, and one of the things I thought was really cool about your special, because there's different. I mean, there's a lot of layers to some people's stand up have no layers.
I don't have
all.
many.
That's
It's just farts.
That's really true. Just that?
No.
Just the one top layer?
It's an hour of shit.
But what
That's all I care about.
What I loved in your special, in your hour, was the expression of having self-doubt.
Right.
No, it really, like, I think it affected all, like, for the comics that we, like, I was there with Moshe Kasher and Hannibal Buress, and to see like a successful comic talk about it, because you always assume people that are more successful than you, what separates them is that they just know they're awesome.
Yes.
And so
they never for 1 second are thinking, what if I'm not that good?
Right.
It's like they're just charging straight ahead.
Yeah, and you're
I'm
like,
great.
I assume that. I've
yes.
seen it before. You're
And
like,
then-
that person thinks they're amazing.
And then people that are less successful than you go, well, I just know I'm more awesome than he is. So that's why I'm further along than he is.
Right.
And then like the most
simple math.
Yeah, it's very simple thing. But when you express, I don't want to give away bits or anything, but the stories are great.
Well, it's a recurring theme throughout the thing.
It's awesome.
My fear of getting in trouble, getting yelled at, and just how I feel like I don't belong in places, and yeah.
And that's how I think. And now, and looking back on it, I go, no, I think actually every comic feels that way.
I think that's why we do what we do.
Yes.
I would say 99% of comedians
But
are driven to
so
it.
many have
Yeah.
a fear of expressing that. Like
we
we
don't
want to
talk about it.
Well, you know why that is, though? I think it's that because when you start out, it's a kind of lesson you learn is you have to be in control.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you have to either people have said this to you directly, more experienced comics, or you just kind of pick up on, I have to be in control of this room full of people, and I have to project absolute confidence at all times. And it's I think it's after you've been doing it for a while, you realize, I can be more vulnerable and still be in control.
Sure.
That it's like the way I'm controlling it is by being funny, and
Right.
being I'm comfortable enough to talk about this stuff, and so and it's the relating to it that that keeps you the person in charge, as it were. You
Right,
know?
and you'll always pull out of the bit funny. Like you're not going to let it go.
It's like, don't worry,
off
folks.
the rails.
I am not going to start crying up here.
But it's also
true.
why when your vulnerability is threatened, why you don't want to be vulnerable anymore. In other words, if the audience does have some asshole who's like that, just mocks you, makes
I
you feel
hate
shitty, then you
that.
go, I'm not going to talk about what I feel, what's going to make me more vulnerable anymore.
Yeah.
I've tried to tell other people, like I've even said it in live shows, like when this table of assholes here, now I don't feel like sharing shit with you guys.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
do surface level.
Well,
stuff,
that's
you
why
know?
it's so brave to
It
share
is.
yourself
Yeah.
with an audience, because that's the higher road to take.
That thing, though, that table full of assholes is such a weird thing, and it's so hard to describe to people who don't. If you're not a stand-up comedian, why that ruins everything.
It ruins everything.
Because you can't stop thinking about
You
it.
can't,
You
man.
can't. If you're up there, you can't just ignore them. You can
Yeah.
pretend to ignore them,
Yeah.
but you can never fully pretend that they're not there.
And when they do leave, you feel this, like sometimes like you just can't forget about them. You feel like it's over.
Yeah.
You keep thinking about them. Then they actually leave. Like they
Yeah.
get up and leave, and you're like, you take
Yeah.
a breath. You're like, I feel so much better. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
because you couldn't let it go.
Yeah, I did a show in Dallas, and there was hardly anybody there, and it was it was embarrassing. It was like this big, gigantic theater, and there was maybe like 50 people there. That's
Yeah.
what, you know what? It might have been 100 people that have felt like 10 people.
Yeah.
Because it was such a huge space. 4 people right in the front, and 2 of them are talking to each other. And I'm like, could you not do that? And this girl kind of gets into it with me and it's like sassing me back, and I'm like trying to deal with it in a funny way. Then she starts texting.
Oh my god,
And
that
it's
makes
like-
me bananas.
Yeah, and it was early
God
enough in the
damn it.
show that I asked them to leave. I said, "Look, you're not into this.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for you to be here. It's early enough. Just go get your money back and go out and have a good time,
Yeah.
But I know you're not going to have fun here.
Yeah.
If we're already starting out like this." And I won't make fun of you. If you get up and leave, I'm not going to call attention to it. I won't make fun of you. And they, like 5 minutes later, I could see them discussing it. They got up and they left, and I let them go. And I was so glad I did it.
It's the best.
For as uncomfortable as it was,
Yeah.
for a few minutes there with the audience, because I could see people were like, "Oh, I wish this wasn't happening right now."
That's so
But
uncomfortable for
af-
them too.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. But after they were gone, it was. Of course, I made fun of them once they left.
Of course.
But it was so much better than if I had just kind of pretended that wasn't happening, because
Yeah.
I knew, well, the show's not going to be as good, and I will not be giving as good a performance as I can give, even if people don't know what I'm going through, and I'm able to kind of bluff it enough to be, and of course I'd be professional and everything, but it's like I want to have a good time too, and the more the more of a good time that I'm having, the better the show is going to be.
Absolutely.
Oh, for
Always
sure.
works that way.
But does it make you bonkers? Like when I do these clubs, and the people who showed up that are talking didn't research you before they came.
Oh, they had no idea what they were
right.
coming to see.
But you want to go to a movie and be like, "What's playing?" Oh,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll see whatever's playing. Like, no. You research. You look at the log line.
Also, at least at a movie, if you're not enjoying the movie, you're not just all of a sudden going to start talking loudly.
Yeah, but
while
they'll do
other
that.
people are there watching the movie.
Yeah.
But
you
for
know?
a person, in
For
front
a
of it-
human being.
Yeah.
it's so crazy.
A live person
Yeah.
who's up there, you can
Yeah.
see them putting their effort into it. You're
Yeah.
like, fuck this guy, man.
Yeah, because the idea that, it's impossible that the people around me are enjoying this.
Yeah.
This is clearly so horrible. Like, we're not alone. Like, this guy's the worst, right? Everybody else who's not heckling, we're all agreed.
Right.
And then that some of the clubs, I've had shows where I got off and I go, "What were you waiting for?
Yeah.
What were you waiting for?"
Yeah, let it
And
out.
they're like, "What?" And I was like, "Are you serious right now?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"We didn't know because you were talking to him." I was like, "I said to
I
shut
love
the
that.
fuck up."
Yeah.
And I said, "You got to go." What do you think that means?
You gotta
go. And they're like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." I'm like, Jesus, what is the policy here? Do you have to see blood on the ground
I
before
think, isn't the policy, let's keep people here drinking?
what?
Right? That's the
It
policy.
is, and aiding, and
Let's keep selling shit.
because there's no other live venue, like live theater show, that a customer could go order a plate of nachos and then like 20 beers on the table in a bucket and then watch you do Shakespeare and then yell, and like it's such a bizarre setting for a performer.
Next.
We're performers, but we're selling chicken wings. That's really
Yeah.
the job. So.
It's somehow, it's
So
because
hostile.
because the club is in the bar restaurant business,
Right.
and we're in the comedy business.
Yeah.
But it is that thing of the comedian is, and musicians too have it pretty rough.
I think worse maybe.
But I think they get ripped off more than comedians, if that's possible. But
Yeah. Jesus.
but at least with music, like the heckling, I think is not the same. I think people, if they don't like music, they just leave. They don't stand there
Or they
and
throw
like yell
things.
shit. I think that's not as rare. I mean, I think that's rare. Compared
hope
to the
so.
heckling, because with music there's built into it the politeness of, you watch this, you sit there for that song, and then you clap when it's over.
Yeah.
And if people are just talking, at least you can just retreat into your song, and you're
Yeah.
playing music and you can listen to yourself sing, as opposed to just standing up there talking when nobody is paying attention, which makes you feel mentally ill. Like,
does.
what am I doing?
It's the worst
I'm
feeling.
still doing my act?
Yeah.
Like nobody's listening to me.
I had a screaming match too. I had a screaming match like a month ago and I was like, "Well, go fuck your mother," to a guy, and then everybody was like, "Huh," and then I actually turned back and I was like, "So, anyways, if you," and then and I could feel everybody be like, "You don't just go back in your act from that."
Yeah,
and I was
I
like,
can, yeah.
and I was like, "I'm going to. I'm not going to address how awkward it is right now." And they all looked at me like I was crazy.
Or
Totally
do you ever
crazy.
have moments where you see they're just not into you and you're so checked out? Like I've had moments where I've actually just come out of my body and I'm above myself telling the tired old bit that I'm running.
One of those nights in Australia, I had a crowd of, it was like 10 people, and they were not into it. It was, one of those things when it's one of those situations where from the moment you walk out on stage, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Before you even open your mouth, it's just like, nope.
Energy is just not.
And so I sat down on a stool and I just did the whole hour, and I put as much performance into it as I could. It was like a weird moment where we all agreed, all right, we're just going to get through this. We're just going to get through
It's
this.
just power up.
We're not going to stand up
each
and
gonna
walk out.
sacrifice something here.
Exactly. we are agreed to waste this hour of our lives together.
Somebody told me one time that they saw me, and I was like, "Oh, this is such a great way of putting it." They said that when they watched me with like a shitty audience, that I match their energy, and I was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
Like when an
Sure.
audience is, when I perform, somewhat lower energy compared to other comics. Like I don't move much. I don't, and if an audience is low energy, I drop it down even lower, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "This is how it's going to go."
'Cause you don't wanna
and then
fight
it goes
them.
worse.
How do you like it?
Yeah, exactly. It is. It is like a little bit of that. It's like, you like this? No,
That's interesting.
that's how I
yeah.
feel. Yeah,
You're giving it back.
I give it right back.
Yeah.
And then when they're like, you suck, I'm like, you suck too. You were shitty to perform.
It's because
We all have our jobs.
Yeah.
How much approval do you need that day?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for me, it's all like on the meter of like, how much love do I want right now?
Right.
Like, how low is my self-esteem where
Yeah.
I'm really going to fight you guys to like me?
Absolutely.
Or do I just not give a shit?
Yeah, that's very true.
I don't give a shit.
Oh, sorry.
Well, we all know what that means.
Is Mike Singletary.
So this is a game called Which is Mike Singletary. You listen to 2 clips.
Okay.
And you tell us which is Mike Singletary.
I'm ready.
Hey, baby! We're gonna be here all day! We're gonna be here all day, baby! I like this kind of party!
That was clip 1.
I want to say this. Number one is I apologize for the start.
It's really tough, huh?
Wow, that's a nail biter.
I'm
It
going to
is.
say... I mean, this is a real horse race. I want to say the first one was Mike
You want to say the
Singletary.
first one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
They were both.
What? No way!
Yes.
That's impossible!
They were both.
They were both Mike Singletary?
They were both Mike Singletary.
Tricked you.
You guys, you
Oh,
got me.
man.
Yeah, we've hold you really good.
You're like M. Night and you're like Shyamalan.
You fell for
That's
it.
what you
I
get
really
at your
did.
mom's house.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of tricks in the
There's
walls.
so many tricks here. So many. I did want to tell you this. Yesterday, no, it was yesterday or the day before, I flew back. When did we fly back?
don't
It's
even
all
know.
running together now. I know.
You guys are just coming off the road at the same
Always.
time?
Same
off the
time.
road.
Flew back within an hour
Monday.
of each other. Yeah.
Yeah, Monday. I came back
I
from
flew
Pittsburgh.
back from Palm Beach. She flew back from Pittsburgh.
You guys were crossing the country at the same time.
I know.
Yep.
Like Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. Some kind of movie.
I'll meet you there. I'm sitting next. Okay, I'm on the flight back.
I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, I love it.
I'm flying back. I'm sitting next to an Asian couple. They're loving. They're very loving towards each other. Midway, like she was massaging him, like his shoulders.
Go on.
Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, they all know how to do that, huh? And so they were
my God,
like,
so racist.
it's true.
Don't
It's
laugh
true.
at that,
She was-
Paul F. Tompkins.
It's true. She was doing like chops
I'm
and
sorry.
everything.
Oh, but it looked like professional.
It looked
massage.
totally professional.
Oh,
yeah. Like
all
she
right.
was really, and I wanted to be like, what
I
about
accept
me?
your
I'm
apology.
sorry.
Thank you, Christina.
So I'm sitting there. They switched seats at one point where initially he was in the middle and she was at the window. They switch, and I'm hearing just little bits of conversation and what sounds like Spanish, but just a little bit. In my mind, I go, oh, they must be Filipino because the Philippines were once conquered by the Spanish, and they have Spanish words in their language. So
In Tagalog?
Tagalog.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yes.
it sounds like Spanish.
so there's words.
No idea.
Some words are interchangeable.
I
A few.
still don't know. I forgot what just
Yes.
was said.
So I'm listening to them, and I go, oh, must be whatever. And I don't say anything. She asks me something. She asks me about the time. I tell her, and she relays it to him. So she's the one that speaks some English. So she says something else, and I'm like, And then, of course, I go, so you're from the Philippines? And they go, she's like, Philippines? And I was like, you're Filipino? And she goes, no. And I go, where are you from? And she goes, Panama. And I go, oh. And I go, oh, I thought you were Filipino. And then I go, I'm about to say why. And I go, oh, because it never occurred to me that people of other ethnicities could live in Panama. Because you don't look Panamanian.
Exactly.
How is it possible that you live there? Right. It's not possible. So I just go, I go, I thought you were Filipino. And then I go, because I just thought you were. And she was like, oh. And then I speak Spanish. So I start speaking to them in Spanish, and I just try to save it.
Big deal, right, Paul? We all speak Spanish.
Everyone speaks Spanish.
I immediately am like, yeah, so where are you guys going? And they're like, Las Vegas. We don't know how to get there. I'm like, let me write directions down for you. So I take out pen and paper. And I'm like, nothing was meant by the Filipino comment.
Aww.
And they were like, yeah. I realized that what I had done was like, Oh, you're black? You like rap?
right.
Do you love it? It's in your veins, right? Like
assumption.
Yeah, it's a total assumption. And they really wanted directions badly to Vegas. They had no idea how, and they were like, thanks. But then they were also like, they figured they were like, yeah. And they basically were like, we're going to Beijing after, just so you know which one we are. And I was like, sounds good. It was terrible. You're Filipino.
So racist,
right?
Tom.
Totally. Aren't you? How do you speak Spanish if you're Asian?
It's impossible.
Right.
How is it?
Why would you bother to learn that?
Why? You either speak an Asian language and some English. That's it.
Right.
It's impossible.
Well, there's not many Filipinos in our lives.
No, we know.
We know one, Rena Villena Ramirez.
Yeah, see the last name.
Oh yeah,
Villena
Spanish
Ramirez.
sounding.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's like reminded me. I was in
Spanish sounding.
Rome, and there was a redheaded girl working at somewhere in the Vatican, and then she was like, and I was like, how do you speak Italian?
Oh yeah,
You're redhead.
so weird.
How's that possible? My brain doesn't have the capacity.
You can't wrap around
to understand that somebody that looks like you speaks Italian and lives here.
Oh yeah.
That's how small this is.
When I was in Hungary with my family's from Hungary, like more than that, 5 years ago, there was a Chinese woman that busted out fluent Hungarian in front of us.
Yeah,
and you're
like,
whoa, dude.
Or
it's
like
such a trip. Your brain can't process it.
Is it because we are so bad at learning languages in America
Yes.
that it's like, why would you do it?
Yes, it's totally got to be that.
But not even why. I guess it's why would you do it, and how is it possible?
How is it possible?
Well, because
It's impossible. We know it's impossible.
That's not the argument. We know it's impossible. Why did you do it?
Could you imagine learning Chinese though? And like for them to learn Hungarian, which
Maria.
is so hard. Yeah. His sister,
My
Tommy's
sister-
sister, learned Chinese in the military. Wow.
She learned Chinese, and we went to a Chinese restaurant. Remember?
Oh yeah.
And the waiter came up, and she was just like, I don't want to mock the Chinese language, but started speaking. Right? And he literally, he stopped, and he was like, this is so crazy.
That a white girl.
Yeah, he kept saying it.
Right.
He was like, he turned to us and was like, do you know how hard is Chinese language? We're like, clearly, yes.
Yeah,
Like-
just a little.
Like, you natively speak Chinese. Like, it's your native language. And you're like, it's so hard
That's
to learn.
true. That's not a thing you hear from people. Like, my language is very hard to learn. I had a tough time with it.
He kept going back, and he would stop and like look at us, and he'd go, this is amazing. This is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, and she was like, yeah, I'm pretty fucking smart.
Now, she's probably gotten that before from people, right?
About the language?
I'm sure I'm sure she has astonished other people.
She has she's very smart, so she has a great capacity for a lot of things, but she's a natural with languages for sure.
I bet that's one of the reasons that John Huntsman did not get farther in the Republican presidential race was because he spoke Chinese. Because he was the ambassador to China.
Oh yeah, and people thought he was soft on China.
Well, because he would just because it seemed foreign. Because it seemed like, I don't like that he learned their language.
Yeah. And then which side are you on?
Exactly.
We're made in America.
Suspicious.
Yeah. Somebody told me
Everybody learns our language. We don't learn their language.
Somebody told me a friend of mine who I won't name said that he just
on the podcast you won't name.
Yeah, right.
But once we stop
as
this,
soon as
you will
we're
tell
done,
me
I'll tell
exactly
you.
what it is.
He was just headlining a club.
We'll tell you.
And the MC fell through, so they called somebody to MC who did 10 minutes at the top, and his 10-minute bet ended with, and by the way, I'm selling this shirt after the show that says "Made in the USA" because we're done fucking taking shit from China. And he said the crowd would erupt, and he would sell like 40 T-shirts after every show. And he was like,
that were probably made in China.
yeah, right. And he was like, should I allow this? And I was like, no, don't allow this. Tell him no. Tell him no, you can't do that. And that was the guy. He was like, fucking Chinese. And they were like, boo. And then he was like, yeah, this shirt. And he held it up. It says "Made in the USA." And they were like, that's what's up. Yes.
Is that all it says?
That's all it says. "Made in the USA."
That's irritating on its face.
Yeah.
That's a
like
shirt.
there's no clever bit tied into that
Exactly.
or anything.
That's my next T-shirt. Then I'm just gonna wrap myself in the flag naked, and then
Yeah.
put that on something
Just
like
sell flags.
poster.
Yeah.
I should just sell
Just sell flags.
You're right.
If you held up
I'm a dirty
a
foreigner.
flag
though.
at like, there's probably like
I'm
20.
not born here.
You're not born? Are you naturalized?
I'm naturalized. However, yeah.
At least there's that.
But my parents are dirty foreigners.
You took the
There's-
oath and all that stuff?
Yeah, I did.
How old are you?
1994. I'm 35.
So you were a kid?
I was
when you
18
took
when I
that-
became naturalized.
Wow.
Yes.
Was it exciting?
It was rad that you do it in downtown LA. It was like an auditorium full of foreigners. I
They
did it
make
with
you
my
show your
uncle.
tits. Did you know that?
What?
Yeah.
Tommy.
I'm glad
No.
that's taken care of.
But you know what they do is they play that Neil Diamond song. They're coming
No.
to him. Yeah, I remember being like 17 and being like, "Is this appropriate? This feels jokey." And then they have a hot dog stand out front, and then you just eat your American hot dogs and you wave your flag. It's the best day ever.
That's
I
kinda
wish
great.
everybody could do it.
This is for you.
Oh, I hate this.
How much do you love?
I hate
Do they play this after the hot dog?
pretty much.
Pretty much.
Do you love Billy Joel?
I hate Billy Joel.
I had a discussion with somebody. I don't love Billy Joel.
Okay.
But I got no beef with Billy Joel.
Okay.
But I was talking
fair.
to a friend of mine, a musician friend of mine, who hates Billy
Yeah,
Joel.
okay, why does he hate
really
him?
just like it just feels like he's totally phony, like this
Yeah.
is all bullshit, like blah blah blah. And I feel like on some level Billy Joel is sincere. I don't think it's totally bullshit.
What part is bullshit? Like, what does he think?
I think he just thinks it's all totally calculated, that it's total bullshit, that there's not a note that's not false in his whole catalog.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a bit harsh.
That's a harsh criticism,
Yeah.
but you know,
It is.
it is
I don't
fun.
agree.
I do love. I really love people that back up why they really hate a movie or an artist. You know, when if it's passionate and they're like, I'm not fucking buying it. I totally love that because it's not false from them.
logical.
Yes.
It's their truth.
Yeah.
In other words, so like
I just feel that this kind of like piano music makes me angry.
you're not- yeah, you
It
don't
just I
Any
don't
kind of piano
like-
music?
Just when it's just a dude and a piano, it just feels
wow.
like fucking boring. Or a guy and a guitar makes me crazy.
I'm not big on
the singer-songwriter. You don't enjoy.
I don't like it either.
Yeah. I hate it.
Oh my god!
And
such
I hate
disgust
it,
crossed
yeah.
over your face.
And I just I
It's
feel
like you and your fucking 1 hour special.
Well, I just feel like every Billy Joel thing is the same. It's a hymn
Right.
and then this fuck. You know, this
I
is a
love
decent.
that song.
Yeah, the Jimmy and Eddie and
Oh, I didn't know you were doing a real one.
Gives a shit.
you like,
That is a song. See, you don't even know.
Do you like Elton John?
No, I mean, I
like him.
Get it. I get why he's
I like Elton John.
Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy.
I'll
the
tell
brown
you.
dork.
The Brown Dirt Cowboy.
The brown dork.
I'll tell you who I don't. I'm not a fan of at all. That's like criminal to some people.
Who?
The Boss, Bruce Springsteen.
Oh,
Rick
you know
Ross?
what?
I'm not a big.
Rick Ross. I have never got, and I'm from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Never got into Springsteen, which is like that's a tough thing to admit.
That's
And I have friends, my two best friends in the world, huge Springsteen fans.
that's like saying.
That shit to
Well,
me, I'm not into it.
But
man.
that shit's fraudulent too because he pretends to be all working class America, but he takes like helicopters into his gigs and shit. I mean, the guy's got money.
To be well, he does now. I don't
Right.
think he pretends anymore. Like, hey, I'm
He's
just
all-
like you. You know?
Yeah.
But he does come from a working class background. He's one of those people that I have total respect for.
Sure.
But it doesn't. It never spoke to me.
That's the thing. It doesn't
Yeah, me
resonate with you.
neither.
Yeah.
But I feel like with a lot of people, and this happens in comedy too. With music, they're like, this is amazing, and if it doesn't speak to you, they're like, you are an empty vessel. There's no reason why this shouldn't
yes.
speak to you.
There's a shortcoming in
Right.
you. Yeah.
And I've heard from comedians, they'll go, well, you know, it doesn't matter what you like or don't like. You have to like so and so.
yes.
And I'll be like, no, I've
Especially
seen it
with humor.
With humor,
the most
like-
subjective thing there is.
I go, it doesn't strike me as funny.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
that's why I
just
don't really
yeah.
dig Billy Joel. Like, it
Right.
just doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah.
I just find it boring and everything sounds the same. Wait, but what don't you like about Bruce? Why do you, what makes you see
Are
red?
you a fan, Christina?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a hater of Bruce.
I don't.
But we don't own his catalog,
Right.
you know. See, this Oh, this makes me crazy.
Think about steel workers out there
I'd like to do this for you,
doing this for you.
countries,
Oh, please.
just like with people,
People are all the same.
it's easy
Yeah,
to let the best of yourself slip away.
I hear you. Talk to me, boss. Talk to me, man. I just don't buy it. This kind of shit to me, it doesn't affect me.
simplistic.
Here's what's funny.
It doesn't.
affect me either, but when I listen to that, I think it's great that somebody's doing that and that it does speak to somebody.
I respect
wish that it spoke to me.
I feel maybe that's
because
what
people that I know that are rapturous about it, like it really moves them. And I, with my friends, went and saw him at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. One of these 3-hour concerts.
Yeah.
And it just didn't. And I thought it was, this is what's going to make the difference. I'll go to this concert and I will come out of this a Springsteen fan.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. I was like,
I think
guess
you
not.
just nailed it. You just played perfect therapist, which is, I think what you nailed it, which is that I wish it affected me the way it affected, and I resent them for it affecting them that way.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say
Yeah.
it, because I've had people send me, but just listen to this song, and I'm like, I did.
I know.
And it doesn't.
I've had
Now,
that same experience.
I've also expressed that, like, I'm much more, like, some people are like, did you hear, aren't those lyrics amazing? And I go, I'm more of like a melody, rhythm, beat guy. Like, for me, it's like either I hear the song and the way
So this isn't doing it for you?
this shit,
Yeah, this makes me want to kill
Of
myself.
all songs that you're playing,
this shit.
Yeah, this is so
this
depressing.
land
too.
is your land.
Jesus Christ.
It's like the slowest version of
I
the song
fucking-
ever recorded.
I hate. I'm
The
sorry that
unfunnest version.
Even the original is like got a little pep to it.
We sang this in grade school. It was fun, remember?
Right.
this.
And now it's like the.
What if you sang it this slow in grade school? A bunch of kids
land.
just making a dirge.
So you got to be a real fucking asshole, I guess, in PA if they're like, you don't like the boss, like right? Are they like,
It's not something I talked about a lot. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that much.
Yeah.
Billy Joel too, isn't he from Pennsylvania or
I don't
no,
know.
He's
New
from-
Jersey, New Jersey.
I think he's from Long
But this
Island.
dude's-
Actually,
I thought Bruce is from Jersey.
Bruce is from Jersey. Billy
But
Joel, I think, is
still.
from Long Island. But it is definitely like
He's a regional.
East
growing up
Coast.
there, East Coast. Absolutely, every jukebox and every bar had Billy Joel, had Springsteen. It was all the same songs.
That's what it is.
For
I guess
sure.
I guess because I didn't grow up with this in my house either. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what your parents, but we didn't. We just didn't listen to this shit.
My parents were older, so I grew up with like a lot of big band stuff.
Are
Really?
you kidding?
Yeah.
Like barbershop.
Do you do the jitterbug?
Are you into barbershop quartet?
Can you show us the jitterbug?
Hello, my baby. What are
A
you?
lot of
what is it,
barbershop quartets.
ragtime?
Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose. Well, they listen to it like Sinatra and stuff like that.
Okay,
and that's
yeah.
that was on the radio when I was a teenager. I listened to just top 40, but then the Beatles. When I discovered the Beatles, that was my entree into
that's-
good music.
Yeah,
you
my
know?
parents played the Beatles, so that's how I got
Right.
and the Stones and Julio Iglesias. My dad loved
Absolutely.
Julio.
My dad got into country late in life.
Oh no!
When he was like in his 50s, he got into country music out of nowhere.
This is some of
Your
Paul's
child?
collection.
This is, many's a time I listen to this. Singing is just sustained talking. Ice cream! Ice cream! Sure. Yeah. We used to sing this all the
You know
time.
this
I remember
jam.
when
Yeah,
you
me and my three friends.
You had the
closed out
poster in
your
your
hour
room.
with this. That was
That's
fantastic.
right. That's right. Can I just bring my three friends out here right now, ladies and gentlemen? Please, just bear with me.
And also from the far western
Oh,
districts,
shit, sorry.
California area,
What's that?
Metropolis.
This is Paul's band.
This is Paul's favorite.
I'm not afraid of going to war. I'm not afraid of going to war.
I'm here, baby.
Can I tell you?
It's like too fast
This is the
for me to
worst.
pretend I know it.
Can I tell you how many more views than anything I have online this has? This has 212,000 views.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
There's a lot of-
212,001 as of today.
A lot of barbershop fans out there, enthusiasts.
Or did you round it off? Does your view round it off?
No, I didn't give you the full count.
Oh, okay.
Don't make me feel bad about it. Jesus. 212,719.
Okay.
This is
This is so sad.
this is what I like. This is when I'm in heaven.
Is this your jam?
This is my glory.
Seriously, though, could you listen to more than one of these songs?
No, never.
No. And I would take Bruce over this shit.
Yeah.
Any fucking day.
I would listen to
and I
Billy
would
Joel.
fight people over how good he is. If you made me listen, to
You would
this.
push a guy in the men's room.
Absolutely, I'd shove him.
I would do Uptown Girl on a loop.
Oh my
for 24 hours. Rather than this.
This is horrifying. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Okay. We asked our listeners who would they rather fill up or seal shut, Penelope Cruz or
I think I know what you mean by those terms.
What do you think it means?
or Salma Hayek.
Well,
Okay.
bury alive, right? Is what we're talking about? Burying someone alive?
I've never heard it put that way, but you know,
bury you alive.
Should we play the music?
That's what
Do
I
we
say
have
to the ladies.
Latin?
Well,
here's-
this
Do you have any Latin barbershop?
Oh, we have a new one. Do you have any?
That we do not have. We do not have that at all.
Well, let's start you out with that then. Okay, so who would you rather fill her up,
Or seal shut.
or seal,
Or seal
shut?
shut.
Would it?
Shut.
Would it?
Never heard that before.
Would it be? Do you know who Salma Hayek is?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay, there's her.
Claro que sí.
Very
there's
good.
her, and then there's another one. Penelope.
Another one of them.
Another one of them.
Another brown.
Person.
I would say Salma Hayek.
Over Penelope Cruz.
Fists.
What?
Just do it. Knuckles.
I can't believe
Yeah.
this.
Well, it just further proves
Luscious.
it was a landslide. I mean, it
Oh
really.
my
you
God.
know. I mean, you don't lie
I
to
know.
him.
I admit to it. I'm sorry.
Penelope Cruz, she's lovely. She's a
beautiful.
lovely young lady. But Salma Hayek, yes, is
really
very
turns your crank.
muy caliente.
Yes. So we have another one, a new one.
A new one.
And
Wait. Now, you don't do a new one every episode.
no.
No.
So this is
For you.
exciting.
This is for
it's
you.
All
exciting.
right. Okay.
Who would you rather fill up slash seal shut?
So I'm accomplishing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not, you can either... well, that's not the choice. The choice is two people. It's not, you can only do one. You can either fill her up or you can seal her shut. Can't do both.
You know what?
we didn't think about it.
I never thought about it that way. I was just trying to give listeners ways to imagine it.
Sure.
And this music is not appropriate for these two, but we'll just
No.
keep it going. Who cares?
This could be the segment. This
the
is the
segment
new
is
segment music.
it's always Latin.
It's the language of love.
That's a good way of putting
there
it.
you go.
And what we're talking about here is love.
Have you ever done a podcast before? By the way, Paul's one of 3 people who has like really successful podcasts who I've
Yeah.
told like you should think about doing a podcast. I did. I did tell you that. I told Bill Burr, I was like, you know how a podcast will affect your ticket sales? And he was like, yeah, I've had one for a few years. It does pretty well. I was like,
Yeah.
really? He's like, yeah. I was like,
Wait,
and then-
did you tell me to do a podcast?
I think I did. I think in Australia, I was like, you ever thought about doing a podcast? And you were like, you were nice about like, yeah, I have one. I'm
Paul
like,
is too nice.
me too.
You know what you should think about doing, Paul? Telling jokes on stage.
Yeah. I have that gift. I'm going to tell Chris Hardwick when I see him next week.
Yeah.
We should think about it. Should think about
Maybe
it.
something
Here's
geared
what you tell
towards
Chris.
nerds. Yeah.
Try to expand.
Do some more.
Yeah.
Don't just do the podcast.
yeah.
What about TV? What about, you know what I mean?
Do some stuff.
What about an app? You ever thought about having an app?
about it?
Okay. Who would you rather fill up, seal shut? Uma Thurman or Kate Blanchett?
Oh, Kate Blanchett.
What?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Expand.
I will tell you why. And not just beyond just physical attractiveness, Kate Blanchett more my type. Acting styles, I would there's something about Uma Thurman that I do not respond to across the board.
Wow.
She is your Billy Joel, if you will.
yes, absolutely.
I love it.
I can't believe this.
I've always had infatuation with Kate Blanchett
Why?
that she
It's-
shoots down.
It's so weird to me. She
And I
does
go-
So it's not for you, Christina. It's not Uma Thurman so much more attractive. You're saying Kate Blanchett just nothing there.
I just don't see her as sexually appealing to
Wow.
men. I just would
I do.
never
I
put that on
find her-
his
I think
radar.
I think she's beautiful.
Eyes.
Wow, that's so
Lips.
surprising.
She has a beautiful mouth.
Did you see The Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
So is she and she's playing like an elf queen
Yeah,
in that
she's
movie,
so
and it's
pretty
just
there,
like
yeah.
she really is. That was great casting because she is like otherworldly. She has that
and
kind of
yeah.
beauty.
She has the beauty that's not it's not cookie cutter like model.
Yeah.
Like here's a model,
Exactly.
but she's very sexy. There's something.
She's real beauty.
wow,
and,
I wouldn't. See, that's
Why
what
wasn't
I feel
Tilda
about
Swinton
Uma.
in? Oh, I'm sorry. That's how you feel about it.
not just say Tilda
Why was Tilda Swinton not in the Lord of the Rings movies? That seems like a mistake.
Oh, we thought you meant
That seems like a mistake.
We thought you meant who would you rather fill up or seal shut?
I think, but I would still say Kate Blanchett between those two.
Yeah, okay.
Tilda.
But Tilda Swinton, I think, she's very appealing. Absolutely.
Tommy is the same crush.
But I
Ann.
love Kate Blanchett.
But I bet women do too, because she's so pansexual.
I don't. Here's my thing. I love Uma Thurman.
She does
I would
love
be
Uma.
gay for Uma, not
Sure.
for Tilda or for what's her name?
Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, they don't. They seem
Penelope
too.
Cruz?
They're too androgynous. Yeah, I like Penelope.
Oh, you don't
Cruz
like
too.
the androgyny?
Yeah, I don't like that. I like them pretty.
Sure.
See, I like a chick with a dick.
Who doesn't? It's the best of both worlds.
That's it. I mean, just to be clear.
One-stop shopping.
So now the listeners know to hashtag us.
Please. Fill her up.
Fill her up, and you choose either Uma Thurman or Kate Blanchett, and you can write at Christina P, at Tom Segura, and we'd love for you to let Paul know as well.
Oh, please do.
You're
at Nerdist. It'll get to me.
What is your Twitter?
I'm using a funny avatar on Twitter, so it doesn't look like me, but it's me.
You don't want any part of this? No. He's like, don't have people tell me who they want to fill up. I will release Paul's Twitter.
Here's the thing. I already know. It's like Santa Claus.
You know.
Of course I know who people want to fill up.
Is it P.F.
or
Tompkins?
seal
Is
shut.
that it?
Yeah, P.F. Tompkins, yeah.
P.F. Tompkins.
With a TH.
By the way,
Look, it can't be any worse than the shit that people say to me.
You should definitely.
Every day.
I know.
With T.O. Is it T.H.?
T.O. Just checking.
Christina.
P-F-T-O-M-P-K-I-N-S.
I know it's warm in here.
Correct.
I know it's warm in here. I'm sorry.
Hot.
No, I wasn't. Did I do a thing that
Jesus.
made it seem like I was
It's
warm?
fucking like endless with you.
I know.
For the listener, I'm fanning myself with my church missalette.
By the way, I wanted to give a big shout out to Geraldo Rivera.
Oh, sure.
For
Yes.
speaking out. We didn't. We haven't really talked much on the show about the Trayvon Martin case, which is unbelievably depressing.
It's a hot topic right now.
It's a very hot topic.
Yeah.
But
are we into the hot topics portion?
This is hot topics. Topics coming up next.
We don't
is,
really do hot topics.
The Wacky Wednesday car wash. We're going to talk about that.
We
in a
usually
minute.
just talk about our bowel movements all the time.
we do
This
really
is a
do.
step up for us.
But
it's more of a medical podcast.
I really like that Geraldo has explained to everybody that Trayvon was shot because he was wearing a hoodie.
Yeah.
Just as much to blame as Fred Zimmerman.
Yes.
True.
They are equal.
Yes.
Geraldo's not excusing Fred Zimmerman.
Right.
Obviously,
George Zimmerman.
Yes.
Yes.
My apologies to Fred Zimmerman.
Fred's like, I didn't do shit, man.
Hey, stop harassing me on Twitter. I don't want to seal anyone up. But as much to blame as George Zimmerman is, Trayvon should not have been wearing that hoodie.
I know.
He was asking to be shot unto death.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
I mean, he had Skittles and an Arizona iced tea, which
Yes.
Arizona have you could also conjure up, emotions regarding. What if you don't like Arizona? Why did you
Or
buy
Skittles.
By the way, Arizona iced tea only comes in a 16-ounce can. It's not a 12-ounce can.
Yeah.
That's a big can. It's scary.
that? You could kill somebody with that can.
You could.
Yeah. And here's just so people know.
Trayvon,
by the way, guy couldn't get the
I
name
have a
right.
different take, Brian, on that.
Ooh,
I
different
believe that
take.
George Zimmerman, the overzealous neighborhood watch captain, should be investigated to the fullest extent of the law, and if he is criminally liable,
got carried
he should
away.
be prosecuted. But I am
If he's
urging
liable.
the parents of black and Latino youngsters particularly to not let their children go out wearing hoodies. I think the hoodie is as much responsible for Trayvon Martin's death as George Zimmerman was. What do you mean?
Oh, so not really blaming Trayvon, but that hoodie.
Dude, you were asking for it. Isn't this is like saying that skirt was short?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It absolutely
You got
is.
fucked. What do
It
you want from
absolutely
me?
is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you wearing short skirts?
He was asking for it.
Your clam's right under the skirt, and then guys want it, and it's
Your
not.
clam, babe.
That's what.
I'll say this, by the way. More people even wear hoodies than short skirts.
Very much.
Everybody wears hoodies.
I'm wearing one right
Everybody.
now.
Right now?
Oh my God, you are! I'm going to shoot you!
Don't kill my wife.
You saw what she was wearing.
Oh
Wait.
yeah.
The best part of this is that the Black Panthers put out like a $10,000 reward if someone brings in Zimmerman or
kills him.
kills him,
One of- yeah.
probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and we can't endorse that, but that's pretty cool.
And the reason that he has not been charged or arrested is because of the stand your ground law,
right?
Which says if you feel threatened,
right?
Like let's say you see somebody wearing a hoodie, right?
Right.
And you call the police and you say, "I see this guy wearing a hoodie. He's totally black,
and he's walking away.
He's walking away. I'm gonna go after him." And the cops say, "Don't do it."
And
you're like,
do that.
Okay, I heard what you said. I'm going after him.
Yes,
because I feel threatened.
Yes,
he is walking away from me.
Yeah,
I'm going to chase after him. And I'm standing my ground here.
Hey, what? I'm provoking him, and then I'm going to kill him on my ground.
Yes, exactly.
I'm standing here, and then I'm
standing my ground, but he keeps walking away. I need to get him on my ground.
How can
I can stand it?
Can I kill him if I follow but then stand?
Look, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a great shot. Okay, so I'm not good with targets at a distance.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I stand my ground, I don't think I'm going to be able to hit this kid.
Yeah.
I need him to be closer to where I am.
How can I
just going to go over there. I'm going to expand my ground.
Expand my ground
to include where he is.
Yes.
As opposed to where I am.
And the law, by the way, it's not a, you can argue either way, but it's a law that is supposed to help you when you're about to be you think you're going to be the victim. You're sitting in your car and three guys with pipes surround your car.
Yeah.
The law allows it where they don't have to start smashing the car. You feel like there's imminent danger.
Yeah.
You can shoot the person and then be like, here's what I saw. And they go, I can see how you would feel very threatened. It's also like if you're like, oh, this kid who's black, he's got like candy and tea.
I'm crazy.
So violent, yeah.
I'm crazy. I've been itching for an excuse to shoot someone.
He's walking away.
I've been
not
given
bothering me.
this dumb, ridiculous position of power in my neighborhood.
Yeah, neighborhood watch guy.
Neighborhood watch, historically, are they armed?
Remember those?
Has that evolved, that position?
I think in the Zimmerman household it has.
What were those guys in the 80s? They would go around, they were a bunch of do-gooders. They weren't called the Blue Angels.
Oh, the Guardian Angels.
The Guardian Angel. Like this guy is
they would ride the
equivalent.
subways, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but could they actually
But even
do
they
anything?
did not have weapons.
Right.
No, it's real crazy. And yeah, it's like there's so many. I mean, these are the same points, obviously, that we've all heard, but it blows my mind that that the kid was, well, obviously innocent in every regard, but that he's walking away and he's pursuing him.
Yeah.
He pursues him,
Jesus Christ.
then is like, my life was in danger.
Yeah.
Like, how is that even? You pursued the person.
Yeah.
Like
the great thing that's happening now is they're trying to they're releasing all these facts about Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
That like he got suspended from school because he wrote WTF on his locker and he like said this mean thing on Twitter and like
podcasts.
Yeah.
what?
He likes podcasts. And so now they're painting him like, but see how black and dangerous he was?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Or the Scream. The Scream makes you like, I mean, have you heard the 911?
I have not. I
haven't
heard like the beginning
horrible.
of it.
It's horrible. And you can hear screaming and you can totally tell that it's the younger person's scream. And Zimmerman's friend and lawyer are like, that's George screaming. You're like, no, it's not, dude. That's not George screaming. That's a kid. That's a 17-year-old boy who, help, screaming. And they're like, no, that's clearly George screaming for help.
Oh, boy.
So you have, I mean, it's just, it's awful. And then George weighs 250. Trayvon weighed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's enormous. And Trayvon weighed 140, 150. So he outweighed him by 100 pounds.
And the idea was Trayvon was beating George
Just
to the
kicking
point
his
where he
ass.
had no choice but to draw his weapon
please.
and shoot him.
Yep. And then they have Trayvon's friend who's come forward, was like, I was on the phone. She said she was on the phone with him. And he was like, a guy's following me. And she said,
Oh, I haven't
she
heard
said,
this.
yeah, she said, well, I told him to run. And he said, I'm not going to run, but I'm going to walk faster. So he was trying to like elude him. He was walking away. And then she goes, and then the line just went dead when she's heard him speaking to a guy, and the line went dead.
Oh.
But the
So
shot, you know,
awful.
the scream and the shot are. I want to see how this thing develops. But the main point was I wanted to give a shout out to Geraldo, and then he wanted to apologize. He apologized. Did you hear his apology?
What I heard was he apologized for the way he expressed himself, but he stood by his comments about the hoodie.
He did it in a great way too. He did it in the.
Well, I'm sure
he did it in a. He wanted to apologize. I have obscured the main point that someone shot and killed an unarmed teenager. I apologize to anyone offended by what one prominent black conservative called my very practical and potentially life-saving campaign urging black and Hispanic parents not to let their children go around wearing hoodies.
Oh, boy.
That's
a really
mind-blowing.
Isn't that crazy?
No, it's a really sincere apology.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, no. I'm certainly not doubting the sincerity of the apology.
I apologize for trying to save your life.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I came down from heaven
one
and tried
guy
to save
says.
you.
What guy? What prominent black leader agreed with Geraldo?
Reverend Jeremiah Wright.
A guy, Thomas Sowell wrote a piece. I guess I haven't read it,
Geraldo.
but he's putting responsibility.
Well, that's two people heard from about hoodies. So when are we going to listen? Wake up, America.
He's trying to warn minority families of the dangers
time.
of their sons wearing gangsta-style clothing.
Yeah.
Here's what's not at fault is our gun laws. Not at all.
Never.
That is not something we should change. Keep guns in the hands of whoever wants one.
But a hood or a sweatshirt.
Let's get rid of
That's right.
sweatshirts.
Sweatshirts altogether. By the way, do you own a sweatshirt?
I own several sweatshirts.
You do?
Not to brag.
Oh,
Because
I'm doing well for myself. I own several sweatshirts.
It's no secret. You're a very well-dressed man.
I enjoy clothing.
You do.
I'm a bit of a clothes. I'm like, when it comes to clothes, I'm kind of a horse about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Horse meaning that you gallop around in your clothes.
Yeah. That's exactly what it means. I gallop around. I canter. I trot.
And you make noise.
That's right.
And you like to race.
I shit in the street.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
That is great. I actually find
my legs are very brittle and fragile. I pray I never break one because you will have to end my life.
I would love to be there for that. Not that I want you to die, but if you ever do, I volunteer to put a bullet in you.
Tom, thank you very much.
As a friend.
I hope you will have the decency to dress me in a hoodie before you pull the trigger.
Yeah, how do all the people in England survive, or in other countries where people aren't allowed to arm themselves?
What are you a wannabe gangster?
All these
or
European gangsters that aren't getting shot. Canadian.
Do people wear hoodies in Europe?
Outside of America?
Oh, I'd like to see the statistics of accidental deaths caused by hoodies in the UK.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there. You got to be careful. But I think the point is we should all wear suits.
That's right. Just be as nicely dressed as possible. Don't go to bars because you will get shoved.
You will get shoved in a bar, or someone will say, "Nice suit,
yeah,
prick." And you gotta be like, "Thank you. Do you like my suit? Really? Do you?" I find that I feel better in a suit. I don't wear them, but 3 times a year.
It's nice. It's nice to get dressed up.
It feels good. Yeah.
I don't. What I like about the time in which we live is that there's a wide variety of styles of dress that are available to people.
Yeah.
I don't feel like everybody should dress like me all the time.
Yeah.
Which some people assume that I think, which is weird.
Really? They're like, you're putting off this "why aren't you dressed like me" vibe.
Yeah, you probably wish that it was 1950. It's like, no, not at all.
No,
I have a cell phone. It's great. But it is nice to get dressed up for things, and especially if you get to wear a tuxedo for something. That's
fun.
The best.
That is fun.
Really, you enjoy that?
Yes. Somebody gets married, you get to put on a tux. It's great.
Well, you do. I do feel better.
I did not wear one for my wedding.
No, neither did he.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
We had a more informal wedding.
You did?
But I did have I had a suit
just like
custom
shorts
made.
and slippers.
Yeah, it was beans and jeans.
You did have a custom made suit?
I did, yes.
How awesome was that?
It was very exciting.
I enjoy. I actually have a fantasy. I'm putting it out there of having a custom made suit. I really want to do it.
Downtown LA, my man.
That's an achievable goal.
You can do it.
I want to do it.
Absolutely.
I do. Because I do feel really good in the suit. It feels awesome.
There you go.
Yeah. Feels sexier.
Do you like it when Tom wears a suit?
Yeah, I do. I think.
I'm sorry to wake you.
No,
Yeah.
I was just thinking
my
about. I
God.
was daydreaming.
You can't even hide it. How bored you are by my words.
You've contempt.
I was daydreaming.
You have contempt for both
I was
of
daydreaming
us.
about our wedding and us getting ready for it because I was remembering how we had to go to downtown LA and get like his suit and my dress, and I guess what it is, I don't like dressing up anymore.
I was just going to ask you,
I
but
don't
you've
like
already
it.
answered my unspoken
I
question.
don't like it.
Really? Is it just uncomfortable? Well, you know what? I will say this. It's more uncomfortable for ladies to dress up.
It sucks. I'm
Suits are
over
very
it.
comfortable.
You know what I did like when I went to Catholic school? I liked having a uniform every day. Did you?
Because you don't have to worry about what you're going to wear.
Best, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if I could, I would wear mechanics like coveralls every day.
That's
I
the
don't
future.
Like dressing.
When we're all in jumpsuits.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
That's what I
And
want.
they shave your
Yeah.
head and they just make you get in line and then
Let me ask you this, because I know the idea behind uniforms in Catholic school was not just to show the world, hey, this is the cult that we belong to.
Right.
But I know part of it was for the kids so that everybody would be dressed the same.
Yeah.
And that there was not going to be, you didn't have to worry about the status of they have the cool clothes and you don't and all that stuff. Was it for girls though? Was there ways around that where you would be competitive with each other?
Well, of course, because then you have freedom with your shoes.
Right.
And then also it's the level of uniform. Like what did you get the polo shirt? And is it a Ralph Lauren polo shirt? Or did you get the Oxford collar? And is it the button down? Or did you... So there was hierarchy within that. And your hair. Right. It doesn't have to be the color God gave you. It just had to be a God-given color.
Right.
But there were ways around it. Like, oops, I dyed it too red or too blue for a day. And then... Yeah.
Too blue.
Girls are, into that. I liked
Super
it, though.
competitive.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I like the freedom of that. I wish I could wear a uniform.
Oh, my God.
You know what that means?
Of course I do, but tell the listener.
It's time for a dental update. We started doing these when we went to the dentist a couple of years ago, or a year ago.
It's really important.
And I had a root canal.
I didn't know that was the theme for the dental update, but it's perfect.
It's late breaking. I have a dental update.
Please.
Now, Paul, I don't know if you can tell, but these two front chompers are fake.
I could not tell.
Yeah, one of them I knocked out in 3rd grade.
Oh.
And so I had to have it bonded. And the other
What were you doing?
night,
Chewing on rocks?
Oh, that's a good one. Wait, were you?
how dare you?
I'm a little gullible. That's not what was happening, right?
No. I hit it on the playground. A metal ring hit my face. And then the other night, I was drinking wine out of a mug. And the mug hit my tooth.
The other night?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And I was so afraid that I would break my fake teeth out.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
You're drinking wine out of a mug?
That's how we do it in Casa de Mami.
You know when we had the place
not
cleaned,
classy.
a lot of times we'll wait a while.
By the way, this is not to say I've never drunk wine out of a mug.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
I've drunk alcohol out of non-alcohol containers.
Get out.
Yes, I have, of course. I'm a human being.
Yes.
If you prick me, do I not bleed? But at home,
Yeah.
I got a very strict, this is what you drink out of this is what you drink out of that.
Really?
Are you?
Yes.
But you seem...
Because I like things like that. I like the specificity of things.
Can I tell you something?
I might have mental problems.
I don't know you
I'm very lazy.
very well. You seem more dignified than us.
Yeah, you are. He carries himself. Maybe because he doesn't talk about his shits all day long
Yeah.
and farting and...
Do you fart on
That
planes?
might be why.
Do you...
Do you drop bombs
Let
on
me
planes?
just say, I'm a person.
All right.
I'm
Wait,
a
you have to
person.
play the all aboard.
Well,
You have to warn
yeah, we
people.
can't just...
Sorry,
I'm
guys. Hold
sorry.
on.
There's a...
Wait, are we moving out of dental updates?
No, well, kind of for a
Well,
second.
the update was I almost
dental
chipped.
updates as well.
I almost chipped my fake tooth, and I was very concerned. But I didn't.
Yes,
thank
that's
God
scary.
I pulled through.
That's scary.
Because if you have fake teeth, it's a bummer. You have to replace them every
Yes.
few years.
Have
you have
ever,
fake teeth?
You ever neglected... Like, have you ever gone a long period without doing the dentist thing?
Oh, yes.
You have.
Oh.
That's what this is all about.
I went for 10 years.
Oh, that is a real dental update.
Oh my God!
Please tell us.
That's what this is all
That's
about.
what this is all about, man.
Yeah, 10 years.
10
years.
age did you not start going? Like, what?
Probably 26, something like that.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't go. I went when I first moved to LA, and it was such a bad experience.
Yeah.
That I never went back to this dentist. But I was still I was a mess when I was in my 20s. It was like, how do you even find a dentist? What do you even do? Right. So I just didn't go. And then when I kind of got my act together in my late 30s, I was like, I got to go to the dentist.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to be bad.
Oh.
How bad was it?
It was horrible. Horrible.
That's good. Well, it should be
So bad.
How many cavities?
I had probably 5 cavities.
Oh, okay.
I needed a deep cleaning on my gums, which is, if you haven't had that, is
Not yet.
excruciating. That is basically, they pull your gums away from your teeth to dig around with a stick in there.
Oh, it made my butthole tingle.
Horrible.
Horrible.
And it goes on forever. And at the end of it, I was exhausted like I had swum laps.
So,
Yeah.
Just from the tension of anticipating pain for that long. It was like a couple hours. Horrible. And I've been really good since then.
It changes you, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's like, well, I'm never letting this happen again.
Right.
Yeah.
So since then, I've been very good about it. I just switched dentists recently because the dentist I was going to was way in Beverly Hills, and I live way east of there, and it was just like, that was my whole day.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a dental appointment was my whole day.
I know, I don't like that either.
Horrible. And it's demoralizing, because you go there and you feel bad about yourself, and they weren't on my insurance, so it was like extra money, and it was like, what am I doing? So I finally switched dentists. But now, today, this is hot off the dental presses.
Okay.
Yes.
My wife and I go to the same dentist. They called our house this morning at 7 a.m. To remind her about her appointment that's coming up next week. And I realized, and she was still asleep. I was awake. She was still asleep, and I realized I got to call them and say, hey, don't call at 7 a.m.
7 a.m.?
We're not early risers, and we get all your emails and all your texts and all that stuff.
Emails and texts.
That's a new thing in the dental arts, I find.
But they really
is that
called it 7?
They call it 7 a.m. It's like, hey, we're looking for... and they don't say, we're reminding you have an appointment. They're like, we're looking forward to seeing you next Monday. It's like, you don't have to look that forward.
Well, and then if you don't come, they charge you like $70 or whatever for missing it.
By the way, that's really out of line to call anybody at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary.
Totally.
It's absolutely unnecessary.
Now, because of you, what we try to do is tell our listeners how important it is.
Music is killing.
We try to tell our listeners how important it is to go. We've had a lot of listeners give us their dental updates, saying that that listening to stories like yours has motivated them to go. We talk about I didn't floss forever, and now I floss every day.
You gotta floss.
You gotta floss. Yes, I do.
Good for you.
And then,
I use all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yes.
I floss. I have Proxibrush. I have little picks.
That?
Everything.
Proxibrush is because I have gaps in some of my teeth. It's like a little chimney sweep brush.
Yeah.
That you stick in and out of there. Oh, it's adorable.
It's adorable. You should see what comes out of there. It's
I
cute,
put my
too.
top hat on. I put soot on my face.
Guys, come on now. Let's sing our song. Let's clean my teeth. By the way, we read a listener's dental update, and he wrote that he had a debridement done, and we thought it was a debridgement. We thought it was incorrect. It is debridement, and that is the medical removal of dead, damaged, or infected tissue.
We both gasped. Like involuntary intake of breath.
That's what he had done. So one of our listeners.
It's the removal of. I almost said involuntary. It's the involuntary removal.
It just happens. Things are taken out of your mouth.
You are not in control of it.
While you're sitting in the waiting room,
that's right.
Something will come in and take
people in
things out of your
riot
mouth.
gear. Something will come in.
Riot gear.
It is
a creature.
Medical removal of dead, damaged, or infected tissue to improve the healing potential of the remaining healthy tissue. So it can be surgical, mechanical, chemical, and in oral hygiene, it refers to removal of plaque that has accumulated on the teeth. In this case, may be performed using ultrasonic instruments, which fracture the calculus. Is that really what that's called?
Yeah.
Okay, thereby facilitating its removal, as well as hand tools, including a periodontal scaler, curettes, or through the other use of...
terrifying.
Yeah.
This sounds so involved.
I got to this point where, because I was told, that I have to get cleanings more than twice a year because I neglected my teeth for so long. And to be honest with you, I went a year in New York without going to the dentist.
Oh, I go a year.
And then I came back and it was fine. So I feel like maybe I could pull back on those.
You can do a year.
Don't tell my dentist.
No, you can do a year, because I do, as long as you floss and brush.
Yes.
And the key is, if you are eating sugar or any kind of sugary treats, just brush right away, because when you eat sugar, it immediately breaks down your teeth and gives you cavities. If you just keep man. God damn motherfucker, cocksucker. But the flossing is what'll save you.
Yes.
What's that?
It
Do you
really
hear that static?
is it me? Did I do something?
I don't know.
It really makes a difference. And when I was, walking away from one of these, because the last dentist I had was able to talk me into a night guard, which I have to say has improved my sleeping.
Night guard? Is
I have
that
to
the
say.
snore thing?
Like a mouth guard?
Yeah, it's because I was grinding my teeth.
That's what Tommy needs.
I don't.
Yeah.
Mine's
'Cause
is for
he snores.
snoring. There's one that's just for grinding.
Has it made a difference?
It saved this.
It saved our marriage,
relationship.
because
I'm
I was
glad to
sleeping
hear
on the
it.
couch.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
would
that's
sleep
bad
on the
news.
couch.
Yeah.
That's rough stuff. But so I'm glad I did that. But it was like I would walk away from those sessions and think like, this is a racket. It's such a racket. But then when I think about this, like, you're putting stuff in your mouth all the time.
Yeah.
It is like it's just a trap for all kinds of garbage.
It is, yeah.
So it's
Really is.
there's a lot that can happen in there.
Is the best thing in the world,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
It really is.
I
awesome.
finally got used to it. There was a period where I thought,
Adjustment.
this isn't doing anything. It's not making any difference. And I have to. It's just in the last month that I've been sleeping through the night, not waking up, and it's like, okay.
What is that from?
I don't know. I hear it too.
There it is.
Oh, Christina.
Really terrible.
Ice cream.
I like ice cream on Fridays.
Ice cream on Fridays.
So you guys,
Any
keep
dental update
flossing.
from you or no?
No. Well, I have had with my. Do you sleep better now because of your mouth guard?
I feel like I do. Yes.
Yeah, I have had a little bit of pain in one of the molars.
Uh-oh.
So I'm thinking of going in to the doc, telling him to take a look.
I should get a cleaning too. We should go.
I want to see. I want to see if I might get a custom one made. I use one that I ordered like online. That's it's fine. It works.
I got a
but-
custom one. Wait, there. I got a custom.
Oh, here we go
one
again with the
made.
bragging.
I know.
Jesus Christ,
Oh,
with this
I go to
guy.
the
It's
dentist,
monogrammed.
It's a monogrammed
No, you know what though?
mouth guard.
It's expensive,
It
right?
is,
To
right?
get one of those things,
Yeah.
and then they give it to me in this case, this plastic case, and then the little sticker on it that has my name on it. My name was spelled wrong,
That's not
like
cool.
not even close.
That's
like
not cool.
letters in the
hate
wrong
that?
order and stuff. I'm like, I paid a lot of money
yeah.
for this fucking.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been cool if it came in like a really cool case.
Yeah.
And you're like, open it up, and they're like, then you turn the key,
Yeah.
and there's your mouth guard.
That'd
Yes.
be cool.
Yes. Where it
Yes.
looked like an old-fashioned music box or something.
Packaging. We wanted to try this out. We were hoping you would be game.
Of course.
It is a monologue,
Mm-hmm.
and in this particular case, you are a high school football
Mm-hmm.
coach, and you're giving your players a pregame speech. We've never done this before, but you coming on.
This is the first
got
too.
us
This is
excited
the
about
first.
it.
First.
Well, we
This
also
is
know
great.
that you have some good acting chops. and
You are a
so
fantastic
we thought
actor.
Maybe
You
would-
guys, you're making me blush.
Well,
Saw you. I didn't. It's fun when you know somebody and you see them unexpectedly.
Yes.
I saw you in Curb. I was
Yes.
watching Curb where you played a lawyer, I believe.
I
You played
did indeed.
and you were fantastic.
Thank you very much.
funny. And
and in your movie, There Will Be Blood, the movie
My
you
movie.
wrote and direct.
yes.
Remember it?
That's right.
I gave him a little part in
So
that.
you admit that I was in it.
All right.
Thank
you had
you.
a small part.
Thank you. It
But
was
you were acting like you were like the main guy. That's what bothered me.
I don't know that
Yeah.
I was.
I think you were trying to
I
show
don't know.
off.
We'll have to review the podcast
So
in my own time.
in your
Or
own
do you want to
time,
give me an action?
I'll give you an action.
It's
and
just like we're back on the set of Blood.
It's just like blood. And just remember, you're trying to get these guys. This is a real big game. It's serious. When you're ready, and action.
It's personal right here, bro. This personal. You in my face, in my house, disrespecting me. I got to do something about it. My family right there, bro. I got to protect my mama. My mama's sitting in the stands, man. Your parents right there. They're in your house, man. Your mama's in the fucking stands. They try to disrespect me in my house. Grab the fucking remote control. That's exactly what they did. They come in your house, grab the fucking remote control, Derek Willis, and control your fucking TV in your motherfucking house. T. Diddy, they came right in our house, put on the same shit and got on and said, fuck you.
Wow.
And scene.
Fantastic.
Oh
Thank
my god. I felt
Thank you.
that.
Now,
That was amazing.
That was so good.
Now I'll confess to the
Really
listener.
good,
Okay.
Paul.
That was not a cold read. I did have the material in advance. I looked over it yesterday.
Okay.
That was the second time I read it.
Can I make a confession to you?
I wish you would.
That is a real speech.
Wait, hold on a second.
That is a real speech given by a real coach.
For the listener, I'm rubbing my eyes in disbelief.
Did you know that?
I hadn't.
Did you know
I
that?
took you at your word.
Did you think?
I thought this was from a play.
Would you like to hear the real coach?
I would. I
want you to.
I didn't realize I was doing real life events.
It's a real life event.
Yeah.
and that's.
And I hope I did justice to the person.
You
Oh.
were phenomenal.
Yeah, this was yours was Shakespearean.
That
It
was so
amazing.
good. That was so good.
Amazing.
Okay, here's the real the speech that you gave. This is Coach Ice, the guy who really gave it in real life.
Coach Ice.
Yes.
This personal right here, bro. It's personal. You in my face in my house disrespecting me. I got to do something about it. My family right there, bro. I got to protect my mama. My mama's sitting in the stands, man. Your parents sitting right there. They're in your house, man. Your mama in the fucking stands. They try to disrespect me in my house and grab a fucking remote control. That's exactly what they did. They come in your house, grab a fucking remote control, Derek Willis, and control your fucking TV. In your motherfucking house. T. Diddy, they can't run in that house. Put on the same shit you got on. And say, fuck you.
Whoa!
Wow.
That's really the best scenario he could paint to get people fired up. That they're going to take the remote control.
Can I tell
It doesn't
you
make any sense,
that this
does it?
is what I was talking about unnecessary aggression? It makes me
But it sounds like, because there's a moment where he sort of stammers a little bit, where I think he wanted to say something way harsher.
I think so.
And then he was like, oh, wait, I forgot. I'm talking to children.
Yeah.
I'm talking to children. And I'm on camera.
Getting
documentary.
This, my friend and I were talking, Ryan Sickler, who I first watched this with, we were talking about, like, can you imagine if you're 15 and your coach
Oh my God.
said that, like, how much you would shit in your pants?
Yeah.
Like, if he was like, the fucking remote, and got in your face.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't want anyone controlling my TV in my house. Like,
I got to protect my mama.
She's
Hey,
sitting
do you
over
know-
there.
I got to protect my mama from these football players winning this game.
I didn't understand it the first time we saw it. I'm like, what does he mean that
Yeah.
he's picking up the remote control
And then you
with
get
the
it,
same
right?
shit you got on? I didn't
Yes.
even understand what he was saying.
It's brilliant
You had to
on some
explain
level. He's really,
Yeah.
if you're thinking about it,
Not on so many levels. On some level?
on some level,
I'm going to assume it's brilliant.
there's brilliance
There's
in there.
specificity.
There's how you say it.
specificity.
That's how you
That's
say
right.
it.
Like this is your remote control. He's got your remote control. Wearing the same shit you got on, and
That's
say
it.
"fuck you."
There you go.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. You did a
But you did
really
such a
great
good
rating.
job. Thank
you,
And I
guys.
think you've inspired us. What
Oh
we're
my
going to do
God.
from now on, I think, is when we have guests, have them read something from real life and then play the clip
That's a good
afterwards.
idea.
I think that's the way to do it.
think it's-
And don't tell them beforehand.
Exactly.
Don't let them
That's why
know.
I didn't tip you off. I didn't want to tip you off. This is one of the most popular segments of the show.
Buckle up.
You're
This is
ready.
the
You're
best.
not ready for this, but
you have
here
no
we go.
idea
This
what's
is
gonna
not a new
happen.
segment. This is an old, tried and
This
true.
is a listener favorite, buddy.
This is
like
a list fave?
a list.
a list fave.
An
This
LF.
is here we go. Let's get it on. Hey buddy, it's Top Dog. Hey buddy, it's Top Dog. Hey buddy, it's Top Dog.
You need to wipe down.
It's Top Dog.
Oh, it's so great.
What
So-
does the guy say?
He says you need to wipe down.
Okay, I did hear it right. All right.
That is my dad. That's my father, and he's known as Top Dog on the show. And he
Sure.
he gives advice on things from like wiping.
Now, I'm sure all this advice is solicited.
I ask him questions. Yes. So the
But
other
for years was unsolicited.
he will
You
give unsolicited.
don't say.
He will give unsolicited advice.
Oh, that's curious.
So the man he's a real tried and true American. He's,
Absolutely.
He'll
I hope
tell
he's
you
got one of those shirts.
he does. He has made in the USA. Got a whole, I'm the comic who sells them. My dad made them, and I sell them. I'm the guy who has the made in the USA shirts.
Now I understand.
I just was trying to.
You were taking the temperature of the
I
room.
was seeing what was going on.
Is this a good thing to do?
Now that I have you guys' approval, I'm going to keep.
Oh, wait a
selling
minute.
it. Yeah.
You need to review. It's recording.
So one of the favorite things that I like to do, it's what gives us a lot of joy, is my father has let's say a potty mouth sense of humor.
Sure.
And he likes talking about farts and dumps and stuff. My mother has nothing but disdain.
Absolutely.
And getting that,
I like the sound of this mother.
the mother, getting her verbal disdain is so funny to me. It's like the funniest thing that I go for that when they're in the same room. I'll try to make him say something gross, and therefore to get her to be like, this is so disgusting.
You're pulling the strings. It's like some dangerous
It's
liaison.
the most
Yes.
fun ever. And
It's so
sometimes
fun.
when Tommy and I are home, Tommy will burp and then I'll laugh and then it sets off Charo, his mom,
Yes.
and it's like a perfect
I beg your pardon.
Triangle of fun.
Yes.
What did you just say?
Charo.
Charo.
Your mother's name is Charo?
She's Latin, yes. My mother's
That's her
Latina.
for real name?
Well, it's
That's
a
what
nickname.
you call her. Oh, I see.
That's her real
We're protecting
nickname.
people's identities.
Yes. It's her real nickname.
And do you call your father Top Dog to his face?
Yes.
Yes,
of course
the whole
you do.
family
Yes.
calls
Oh, the whole family does?
Yes, Top Dog. So this is this is some audio that I recorded this weekend in the car, and I'm trying to get my dad to be gross and trying to get my mother to get upset.
Buckle up, Tompkins.
I want to do a thing tomorrow where they also don't know I'm recording them at this point. I tell them that I'm I tell them I'm going to record tomorrow, but I actually hit record on the thing. So this is them. Okay. I sit down and ask you guys questions. What do you want to talk about again? How to what?
You know how to roll them and pick them, and you know what I mean?
I don't think that's a show.
That's disgusting.
No, that is disgusting. I don't think.
But everybody.
That's not going to be in Fanston. That's going to just.
She obviously didn't hear the first two. I thought.
So right there, just to explain what's going on, I'm saying, what do you want to talk about when we do our interview tomorrow? And he said how to roll him and pick his nose. And my mom is saying
That's what he wants to talk
That's what he
about.
wants to talk about. He wants to talk about how to pick your
Well,
nose.
you missed the last few episodes, obviously. But Top Dog likes to pick his nose and then put the booger on the number 1 key in the elevator.
Look at his face.
I know. I wish we had the Ustream up at this point. Yeah. So that's prior. That's our background with Top Dog and booger picking.
It's like a sociopath.
No, he's the best. Yeah, it's so great.
Because let me tell you something.
Control.
When I see stuff like that in life,
Yeah.
it bums me out
Yeah,
so hard.
sure.
Like first I get mad and then I get sad. It's
Yeah.
like when somebody spits gum in a urinal.
Yeah.
Like there's a trash can in the bathroom.
Right there.
Why do you have to do that?
Yeah.
Or like people like the gym, people leave shit in the cup holders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Just clean up after
Let's have a
yourself.
society.
Yeah.
But the weirdest thing is being in a men's room, because men are the worst.
Yeah.
And you'll see somebody's like picked their nose and wiped it on the wall.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy to
yeah,
me.
yeah. Well, my dad's has always been. He's always said it like it's like an ongoing bit where he goes,
Right.
"What I like to, you know what I like
It's
to
a
do?
joke,
I like to
yeah.
pick
It's
my
not-
nose and wipe it on the
hope
one
so.
so that everybody touches it." And we go, "Oh, that's really gross." And he's like, "That's funny," because he likes it as the concept.
The gross
But
out.
then,
All right, Top Dog.
when we were in an
I'll allow
elevator,
it.
we were in an elevator together. He did it,
Yeah.
and we were like, "What the fuck?" And then he wiped it off. We're like, "Why would you do that?" And he was like, "Just thought it'd be funny." And we were like, "You can't do
But
that."
here's the thing about Top Dog is that he actually is a very much a rule follower.
Oh yeah.
And he would never break any rules or, transgress.
This for him is being
yeah,
a rascal.
This is not.
He's,
Right.
being
He wiped the
rascally.
booger off
Yes.
at the end.
Right.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
But it
it's
was
more
still-
to.
He really did it just to get a reaction out of you.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
more
And
for the
it was
fun.
also new level. He had never I was like
That was
this
a
is-
first
yeah, I'd
timer,
never done
yeah.
that. So okay, this is where it's going. Okay. What do you think he should talk about tomorrow, Mom? Give him an idea.
Let me think about it.
What do you think of him talking about picking his nose?
No, that is disgusting. Absolutely no possibilities.
Can I ask you one thing?
Say,
How do you feel, honestly, because I've thought about this many times,
yeah.
about when Dad is
Yeah.
like laying in bed
Yeah.
and he farts and he puts his hand on his butt and then he
his
smells
hand.
it? Yeah.
And then he put it in his.
What do you think of that?
Disgusting too. What am I
No,
going
but
to?
Tommy, there's the kind when you roll them like this with the left, use your thumb,
Yeah.
and then this finger, with those ones that
Tommy,
are
he does disgusting.
way up in there. And you have to get up there and you kind of push them.
Tom, please, that's enough. That's enough. I really can't stand this. And he still does the fart, and he still put the hand, and then he put the hand in, and smell it. And I have never seen anything that disgusting.
I've never seen anybody do that.
I have never seen, and I never will, or when you try it.
How many times do you think you've seen him do that?
Oh, 1,000,000 times more than what I wanted. And he keeps doing it. He keeps doing it. He goes like. And then,
She did an impression of it there because he will lay on the bed, fart in his hand, and then he pushes his face, and I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm just checking to see if I'm normal. Like I'm I'm taking the temperature right now."
Right.
And I go, "Whoa."
Paul can't wrap his brain.
But I mean, has it ever been where he's gotten a bad reading where it's like, uh-oh.
Yes.
Let's get there. Let's find
Okay.
out. Let's
Glad I asked.
he does that disgusting. When he's eating to me. Have you ever seen anything like this? He eats, and he takes the food like this with his finger, take the hood, and he eats it.
He eats what's between his teeth. She's saying.
Ew.
It's what's in his teeth.
Oh.
That is so gross.
Oh.
Sitting to waste food.
Oh.
But wait, why do you smell your fart? Why do you put
Because
your hand?
I can tell whether I'm going to get sick or not.
He said by the smell he knows that there is bacteria.
I know my own.
Why can it be in a
I know
pedo? There's
my
no bacteria.
own butt smell, and it tells me whether I'm going to have a loose one or not. So I know what to prepare for.
Do you really know?
Absolutely.
So you smell it, you go, there's a loose one coming?
Absolutely.
What does it smell like?
Well, I can't
That
describe it.
tummy.
You just know it. Okay, it's an art form.
Fair enough.
Really?
Absolutely.
And then
Art
if you're
form.
regular, you know that too.
And
So you
if I know-
fart in
and,
the-
and have a certain smell, which means I'm going to have a hard stool, which means I'm not getting enough fiber.
Do you know what that you broke it down like that? Like a science.
Yeah, exactly.
You fart
Oh
into
my God! Did you just fart?
No, it's a skunk. I didn't fart.
A skunk inside the car?
I did not fart. There's a skunk outside someplace.
Why don't you
I
put
didn't
your
fart.
hand under your butt to see if it's a skunk or not? Have you seen anybody laughing?
So wait a minute. Do you realize that you cup your hand and you fart into your hand?
Yes.
This way I want to feel how. This way I can tell what I kind of score my gastrointestinal. It's true. I know my smells. I have about 6 different categories.
6?
Yeah.
What are they?
Well, there's the one that is going to be a sloppy Joe coming. I can tell you right now. Okay. The other end of it, there's one that is.
Can we interrupt this,
Okay.
please? This is disgusting.
Okay, I'll tell you later, Tony.
Oh
We
my
got to
God.
get back to the hotel.
Oh my God.
This is disgusting. I can
Sloppy
live with him.
Joe.
And I live with him.
You have children with him.
I have children with him. Oh.
A sloppy Joe.
Wow. I've never been more on board with anybody than
My mother?
I am with your mother. I adore her, first of all. She is awesome.
How
She's
cute
very
is she?
cute. She's cute.
Oh,
Can I tell you
she's
that
hilarious.
I've actually walked in on Top Dog laying on the bed in his own bedroom watching football or something, and he'll be wearing just paper thin boxers, like the see-through paper thin, shirtless,
thin.
yeah, whisper thin, and I
Like the kind you get at the supermarket boxers?
yeah,
Pretty much.
But
He's got some 20,
Underwear's underwear.
25-year-old boxers I've seen him.
But
Wow.
it's his bedroom,
Right,
So
it's
in
his-
his
there you go.
fairness, I walk in sometimes when Tommy and him are watching football together when we're home in Florida, and I'll see him do that. I've actually seen him fart, cup the fart, and then smell it and see and grade it and see what's happening. What's going on? It's horrendous.
This means we got to get the cameras hooked up because Paul's
I
face
know,
has
it's
been just
priceless.
amazing.
But I mean, so he does it. This is before. He uses this as an early warning system before he's feeling any other symptoms. Like,
Yeah.
because I feel like if you feel sick, you feel sick. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's not like stuff out of nowhere. It's like, oh, I feel fine, and yet this is telling me otherwise.
I think at this point he's just it's just routine, or he just knows.
Yeah.
But like the best is when you don't. Like when, like in his bedroom, there's a seat, like a sofa, like single chair, a love seat, like a recliner, and next to the bed, and you can watch the TV, and I can just be watching TV, look over, and just see him lean, and like smell his hand, and then but not address, like just like, hey, like that's a normal thing. And I'll be like, what'd you just do? And he'll be like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, did you just fart in your hand?
It's a habit now.
He's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, you can't do that. And my mom just has the total disdain that you heard. That, and by the way, I have for the next episode, we have a 17-minute conversation involving Vietnam, killing, and a lot of the.
His Top Dog was a Marine.
We got to get.
Oh, wow.
Bro.
Okay, I love you guys.
We pick you up tomorrow.
At 12. Be right here.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, that was the end of that. I just want to make sure.
But now here's the thing. Yeah. So he's trying to predict his bowel movements. But so what? Like, there's never been a situation in my life where that had started. I'm like, I am unprepared for this.
I don't know what
He likes to
Where
be
am I
If
gonna
only
go?
I had known how this was going to turn out, I
Right.
would have planned differently.
right. Yeah, because otherwhes,
It's pretty much the same thing as
He doesn't
Right.
like
so
surprise.
the outcome's all the same.
Right.
He doesn't like surprise.
He doesn't.
he likes no, and then because
He likes certainty.
I did notice that he goes this way. I can prepare. I was like, prepare how? Like, you're still going to sit on the same thing.
Do you think he writes a letter to his loved ones?
I disagree, because sometimes maybe he's preparing mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
There you go.
Maybe he needs to know, am I close enough to a restroom? Do I have to pull over? Like in 86, remember the Orlando airport incident?
Sorry.
Next stop, Brown Talk.
Sorry, just making sure.
Coming up.
So we just have to give. We have a warning system that listeners don't like when we just talk about Brown.
Some listeners
need to be warned about it.
Hold on a second, and you're just playing that now?
I know. I forgot about it. I totally forgot.
You knew what that segment.
I know.
Like it recorded audio.
I know. I forgot to do it. So I feel bad.
Tricked you.
Totally feel bad about it.
Well, you should.
But anyways, that you got to experience Top Dog and Charo.
I'll say I did.
How'd you like that?
I liked it.
It was fun,
I like
right?
their dynamic. Subject matter's not my favorite. I'll be honest with you. Well,
which part?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I just don't like when people disagree.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Conflict.
Yeah. I don't like that's what it is. I don't like conflict.
Hey, can I ask something?
Sure.
Do you and your wife fart in front of each other?
No.
Wow.
How long have you been married for?
We've been together since 2005. We've been married for 2 years.
That's quite a commitment.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying things like that have not happened.
Okay.
But it's not something. But it's always an accident. It's not something that.
You don't do like a finger or shooting in it?
No.
Do you do the leg kick where you kick it out?
No.
That's
you don't do that.
No.
Or you don't do like a
like trying to get a trucker to honk the horn. You don't do that. We're both fairly prudish with that stuff.
But you know what?
We saw a movie one time that depicted, and this is like a thing you see in movies a lot, where it's a married couple, somebody's on the toilet, and then the other half of the couple comes in, they just start talking, and I turned to my wife and said, that will never be us.
No.
And she said, oh, deal. Absolutely not.
100%. We talk about a lot of Brown on this show.
Sure.
And we're comfortable with the discussion and all that.
Because it's natural, it's part of the human body,
and
et cetera, et cetera.
it also resonates with us in humor. We find it funny.
Absolutely.
It's just
so
good
for us
fun.
it's always
It's
going to be
good Brown fun.
But we draw the line absolutely at entering the bathroom while the other not
There's no
happening.
need for that.
We saw my cousin and his now wife doing it
Boo, boo.
when I lived with my cousin, and they were dating. They weren't even engaged.
No. You don't even. Let me explain what they were doing, because I walked in on it when you guys were living together. He was making.
Now 3 people are in this bathroom.
Yeah. The door was ajar, and I was just tired and dazed.
Yeah.
And I walked in. He was taking a shit. She was standing there eating a bagel with cream cheese. Paul just put down.
Paul's done. Paul's walking
took
out.
off the headset.
He's leaving now. Come on, man. Come back.
Yeah, eating with cream cheese and talking to him
While he's shitting. And
While
they both didn't
I wouldn't
understand.
eat a cracker in the bathroom if it had just been built and I was the only person in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't eat ever in the bathroom.
That's
That's
crazy.
enough.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
We're back in the game. He's back. You
I
can.
can't. That is. Oh, that's.
I don't
demented.
like conversations through a door, through any,
No.
like, just leave me alone.
No.
And I'll leave you alone. How about
Yeah.
that deal?
It's so far. It's always worked out.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
relationship I've ever been in, like whatever conversation we ever had to have, there's always been time for it. Always been time for it. It's never like, we got to talk about this right now.
After you wipe down.
While you're doing that.
Immediately.
Yeah. You need to wipe down, Paul.
Need to wipe down.
You need to.
All right, we got to get Paul out of here. So,
All right. This is it.
This is
You don't have to tell me what this is.
Okay.
A native of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's right.
I know exactly what this is.
You know where Dr. Huxtable lives.
This is Cosby Show. I want to say season 4.
Whoa!
What if I was right?
You are right.
Am I right?
You're right.
Because season 5 was when they did the African
That's
thing.
right.
Wow, look at you. You're very savvy.
I know my Cosby Show opens.
That was amazing.
This is 4. But
a lot
this
of people don't
also,
know.
people don't know that this is secondary to the Cosby Show. This really means that it's time to play Would You Rather, where we give you
Oh,
scenarios.
sure. Absolutely.
And you just tell us our listeners scenarios. I've had a lot of
I want to do the
fumbles.
first one. Can I? Yeah,
Absolutely.
a lot of pops and crackles.
Yeah, go ahead.
No snaps though. Isn't that funny?
This is Would You Rather. So I'm going to read you 2 scenarios, and you tell me, and you have to give me your reasoning. Okay?
Yes.
This is submitted by Doug. Doug writes, would you rather suffer from intense pain or intense itching? The qualifiers are wherever the pain would be, the itch would be. However long the pain would last, the itch would last. And there is no remedy for either.
No remedy. So this is just for the rest of my life.
Right. The idea, we like the Would You Rathers to be as, both sides of it to be as undesirable.
Absolutely, yes.
Right.
So
I would go with pain because I think that you can live with pain in a certain way. You can get used to it. It's still uncomfortable. It still hurts.
it
It's still
just becomes
pain.
your life.
It becomes your life. But itching is maddening. And it never stops. I've never had like an itch that lasted for a long time where I was like, this is all right.
Not a bad,
I'm just used to this.
Not a bad deal, this itch.
Oh, when something itches, it's new every time.
Right.
The frustration of it and the irritation is new every time. But pain is like a long-lasting pain. It's just like, yeah, I got this pain.
I'm going with pain because I also feel like with the itching, nobody would believe that you're not like sick or homeless or like gross. Like they'd be like, "What's up with it?" Like if you see someone who's always like just scratching,
Nobody
you're like,
feels sorry for you if you itch.
Right.
That's the
None.
hugest
You don't get
one
sympathy.
For me.
That's right.
Even though you should.
You should.
You should get
Yeah.
more. There should be more empathy there.
You should know exactly. You know exactly what
Yes.
that's like. Where like
Yes.
that person's gross.
Yeah.
And they don't wipe down.
Yeah.
And they're just gross.
Or like having the chicken pox. You ever had the chicken pox as a kid?
Right.
When you're just
And you're not supposed to scratch.
It makes me scratchy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take pain too.
Yeah.
Because then you could manage that. You could take ibuprofen or whatever.
And we're all admitting that this pain, that this is going to be bad. It's intense pain, but
sucks.
Yeah.
you've had days where you're in pain, where you're like, this is just what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's
Oh my God! I hope these things don't come true.
I like the simple ones. The simple ones are great. This
Yes.
is submitted to us by Josh. His 4th submission.
By the way, I want to point out he sent his submission in, and you can send all your submissions to yourmomspodcast@gmail.com. He wrote 4th submission.
I know,
like,
I love
hey,
that.
asshole, I've sent in a few of these.
I know, I love it.
So you don't have to. You don't need to do that. Like, if they get on, they get on. You don't have to make us feel bad for not having read them before.
Hilarious.
Okay,
Having
go ahead.
said that.
For submission.
Okay.
Doug, but you know that already.
It's actually Josh.
Oh,
Don't get his
shit, I
name
knew
wrong.
it.
He's
Yeah.
going to
Knew it.
write to us again.
Josh, I
Okay.
apologize.
Would you rather...
But you're passive aggressive. So take it easy.
Yeah, take it easy.
Would you rather have dicks for your fingers or a finger for a dick?
That's.
It's a little bit of a...
I think I think I got you.
Would you rather have dicks for your fingers
Or
your
have a finger in place of-
for your dick, as
Yeah.
opposed to a dick?
You have a finger
your
there.
finger.
But the thing
Any
is,
finger
when you have
want.
the dicks for fingers, you still have your dick? You essentially have 11 dicks.
Yeah.
You have 11 dicks.
Yeah.
And you go through life with 11 dicks. I don't know. Do they all have sensations or?
Yeah, I mean, these are very unpleasant scenarios.
Let's say they're functional dicks. Yeah, they're
So you have
10
11
fully
yeah.
functional. At times flaccid. At times.
I think
erect.
here's what's going to happen. If you choose the finger in place of your ding ding, you never get pleasure again. That's it, because your finger is not going to operate like your dick. It's a finger. So would you rather have intense pleasure? The ability to have intense pleasure. But you can also get very sensitive. You have very sensitive.
You have the ability to have intense pleasure, but yeah, you also have the ability to have intense pain.
Really
That's the most sensitive part of your body.
Yes.
Now it's times 10.
And it's out there in the world all the time.
Yes. I would go with the finger in place of my dick.
Yeah.
Because no one sees that.
Right.
They don't know. It's my secret shame.
Right.
I get some sort of catheter or whatever to allow myself to urinate.
Mm-hmm.
That's that problem solved. It's unpleasant, but I think it's less unpleasant than having 10 penises that I have to worry about all the time.
People slam your dick in the door.
You use your hands for a lot
of stuff.
For a lot of
And
stuff.
Is that the end to masturbating? If you have 10
It just
dicks?
seems difficult, right? It seems like it would be really difficult.
They all get hard and then you can't grip.
No, know you can rub them against each other.
But
that doesn't sound.
It's
pleasant.
very weird. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you rather me have? 11 dicks?
I mean, I'd want you to have one, so yes, I have to take 11.
Jeez, way to be selfish, you selfish shit.
It's pretty selfish.
Yeah, it's very selfish.
I would love for you to have 11 dicks. That would be great.
Why don't we just invite 10 guys over?
Why not? Let's.
Wow, that backfired on you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that response coming.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's.
Puerto Ricans?
Oh, I hope Puerto Ricans.
She has this thing for
I
Puerto
love
Rican
Puerto
men.
Ricans.
Really? Is it because of West Side Story?
As a matter of fact, it is. He's really good.
He's a
I
smart
grew
guy.
up watching that, and I really liked all those Puerto
Puerto
Ricans.
Ricans have never been so sexy as they were in West Side
Singing,
Story.
dancing,
That's
stabbing.
right. Passionate.
Yeah, I like
feeling.
You love that pencil thin beard, and you love that.
Gold chains.
Yeah.
I am not lying. I'm half Italian on my mother's side.
Are you?
Yes.
Half a town, and then your father's side is
Irish.
Irish. You did a whole special. I remember seeing it where you drank beer the whole time.
You did?
Yes.
When I was younger.
How old were you into that?
I was not that young. I was. That was 1998. I wrote that, and the special I think was 99.
I watched
43
that.
now. So math people enjoy.
I was in college, and I was like, this motherfucker is doing his special, drinking beers.
This is a total stunt. I drank 4 beers in a half hour.
Holy moly.
Dumb.
It was, but it's
How do
that's
you
so
do it?
cool. It's fun to.
Well, it was Guinness, which was easier to drink than like a regular beer because it's very smooth and you can just toss it right down. But we taped it twice that night.
Oh,
so I had to wait
2 tapings.
Yes, so it was me and Greg Barrett, another comedian.
Yeah.
He was also doing a special. I went first, Greg went second, then there was a break, then Greg went again, then I went again.
Wow.
So in between, drinking a lot of water to sober back up. But then by the end of, and I've told this story many times, by the end of that night, my belly was so full of liquid.
Yeah.
So full of liquid. It was like hard as a rock. Like I didn't have room for anything else. And at the very end, and you can see it on the special, a drop of beer comes out of my nose. Like
Really?
leaks out of my nose.
Really?
Yeah. That's how full of liquid I was. Like to just under my eyeballs.
This is funny, man. I gotta see. I'm gonna watch it again. I vividly remember.
I think a lot of it holds up.
Yeah,
I think a lot of
Great.
it holds up.
That's awesome, man. And that's
I don't
a
know.
cool,
I haven't watched it in a while, but people say nice things about it.
That's awesome. It was. I remember it being very funny.
Well, thank you.
What is the final one?
All right, one more, you guys. This comes from Bruce, and he said if I use this, he's going to buy a Super Mommy pack.
That's
so, all
a-
right, Bruce. Mommy up. Would you rather have to swim across the Nile River with bloody stakes tied to your waist, with 20-foot Nile crocodiles swimming around you, or be stuck in a room with a pregnant anaconda for 36 hours? She will give birth to approximately 100 live babies while you're in there, and you probably won't sleep for those 36 hours.
Wow.
What would you rather do? Man, that's kind of tricky.
Yeah, that's a well done, Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
Bruce.
It's supposed to not be fun.
It's not easy.
I think I would take the anaconda.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
I think so.
there's any way of getting out of the Nile one.
I know
You're
I would
just done.
perish. Yeah, I would. Yeah, absolutely.
This would rather should be like, would you rather die or would you rather maybe die?
Yeah, because with crocodiles, so terrifying.
They are
so
vicious.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Prehistoric monsters.
They're monsters. They're monsters on Earth.
The anaconda is more of the unknown to me. I'm sure that is also certain death, but I would rather take my chances. I guess I'd rather be squeezed to death
Oh,
than
that's
torn apart.
than torn
though.
apart.
Well, actually, I think what the crocs do is they actually drown you before they tear you apart.
Oh, great!
So what they do
they
is
death roll
yeah,
you.
they
But
death roll you.
but they bite you in order
to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a vicious, maybe a neck grab or something.
Yeah.
They just hold you down, you drown, and then they start ripping you apart.
Ugh.
The anaconda, here's why I think you could maybe get away with this, is that for those 36 hours while she's giving birth, you stay on the other side of that room and you just you pray and you hum and you let her give birth to all her other anaconda.
Well, she's wrapped up in that birthing. She's
Yeah.
not even looking at you, probably.
Well, and then like after they're all out and they're ready to protect, you've shown her hey, I'm respecting you. I don't want any part of this.
Sure.
I got a few hours to get out of this.
Yes.
Please let me live. And maybe...
Can't we both just enjoy our time together?
This is fun.
And part ways as friends.
I know you can eat me.
Yeah.
Well, anacondas, too. They don't always feed every time that there's food available.
Yeah.
She might not be hungry.
Very true.
Then
Exactly.
again, she just gave birth. She might be ravenous.
Really hungry.
Yeah.
Starving.
And she might want to show the kids, look how good I am.
Yeah.
Watch how you do this.
Crocodiles, same thing, though. They eat when they're hungry. They
That's
don't
true.
just, like, go
Right.
after everything.
Right. But you
the
have to,
Nile
we didn't.
got everything.
We left out the detail of swimming across the Nile. That in and of itself
doesn't sound easy.
No, that's probably hard.
It's probably a wide river, right?
And the current is probably very strong.
Yeah.
I don't imagine that is a piece of cake.
And you got stakes on you. I think we all. Did we all choose the anaconda? You choose the anaconda?
Yeah, just because it's contained. The environment you're in is contained.
Yes.
Maybe you could somehow get around.
Let's say you're doing great swimming across the Nile,
Yeah.
and you're staying ahead of these crocodiles.
Yeah.
Some dumb bird swoops down.
Yeah.
Weird Nile bird.
Yeah.
I don't even know what kind of birds they got down there.
A Nile pigeon. Come and take you away.
So that's
probably a Nile pigeon.
That is.
May I say this to creatures such as your crocodile, these prehistoric creatures?
Oh, they're son of a bitches.
I'm proud of us, the human race, for having evolved to the point where we're not just, I mean, in terms of the killing that we're doing, we could do a lot better, right?
Yeah.
We're not great on that, but we're not just, we've narrowed it down to a few things that we eat, and we eat them, to the exclusion of all other things, right?
Yeah.
So my point is, I'm not eating crocodile.
No.
Mm-mm.
It's
Right?
tasty, though. It's not
I
for
bet
gators.
I
not
bet
bad.
it is.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So, little common courtesy.
Don't eat me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make a deal.
They don't like human, actually. I don't think crocodiles prefer human flesh.
Christina, this is my thing. All these fucking prehistoric things, they don't know until they bite it.
That's
and
true.
They're like, oh, I don't like this. Sharks,
They're
same
so
deal.
dumb.
Sharks do it all the time.
They don't know it's food until they bite into it, and they're like, "Oh, this isn't food." That's the best system you could come up with.
Yeah.
you've been here for millions of years.
Yeah,
Why isn't that in your
stupid.
brain already?
Yes.
Yes.
Why memorize some shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I like seals. That's what I like to eat. I like
Right.
to eat seals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a person in a wetsuit, it's not a big seal. It's a
Yeah.
person in a wetsuit.
Figured it out.
Yeah.
Figure it the fuck out.
Yeah,
You
we
dumb
have.
fucking shark.
You pieces of shit.
What's it called? Killer whales, orcas. Same
Yeah.
thing. They'll be like, "Oh, fucking kick that thing 60 yards in the air,
Yeah.
bite it," and they're like, "That's not what we like."
Yeah.
And then they'll fucking
Dicks.
swim away. It's
That's
like,
the only way I know how of determining.
No compassion.
yeah, you speak with like chirps underwater, and you can't figure out that doesn't fucking.
You turn those fucking high pitched noises into a language.
Yeah, you swim across.
You're that sophisticated.
You swim around the earth. You
Yeah.
have amazing
You're
abilities.
well traveled.
Yeah, you don't know.
This is what you've gotten out of all your experience.
Passport has many stamps.
Yeah.
And you
Your steamer
still-
trunk has so many stickers on it.
Figure it the fuck out, man.
Come on, gang.
This is bullshit.
Come on.
What did we want to tell you? Oh, the logos, they'll be up on the
Yes.
site.
Yeah, we've decided. We've narrowed
Okay.
it down.
So the logos are going to be on yourmomshousepodcast.com. We had a contest where listeners designed the logo for our show.
Very nice.
So those are going to be up on the site. And while you're there, if you feel like shopping for something on Amazon, there's a banner at the top right. If you go through there, it's money you were going to spend anyways.
Yes, you're already there.
Just go through the banner, and then you help out your mommies. Let's say you wanted to
Yes.
get like Freak Wharf.
Sure.
Paul's-
That's
There
a
you
stand-up
go.
comedy
So
CD that I made.
I could get on Amazon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Why don't you just go to yourmomshousepodcast.com, click on the Amazon banner, go spend the money you were going to buy anyways. You were going to spend it. You want a
That's
television?
right. That's
or
a great album cover, Freak Wharf. By the way.
Yeah, it's
Thank
really
you
good.
very
It's
much.
really fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like that.
Very great. Very great.
Pick up his stuff.
Pick up. You have a lot
Do
of
it through
stuff.
Amazon.
All his. I've done all his stuff.
I know. I'm a professional comedian.
Now I'm looking at this very exciting CD on the wall here. Is it the actual CD cover?
That is the
CD?
CD. That is the
That
CD.
is kind of fantastic.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.
It's really amazing.
Thank you. That is Thrilled, my CD, which he's referring to. You can get that also on Amazon.
And if you haven't seen the cover art, Tom is lounging
I am.
in the manner of the Michael Jackson Thriller cover, wearing a white suit and a black shirt.
You want to know something awesome about that?
I do.
After I came up with the, the idea, shot it, had it. They're like, it's good to go. You know, the whole process of back and forth. No, it's got to look like this. Then put it out there. Somebody sent me a link to Michael Jackson parodies. And there like 40 people have done parodies of Thriller and stuff.
Such a
yeah, it's like that many.
And
really?
I was like, how not original is this anymore? Where like not only is it like not the first, they're like you're one of many people.
And yeah, this is the first one I've seen.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I can't think of another one.
I try to tell people that this because I don't want to hear like later.
Yeah,
it's like when I'm in a club. And I hear a comic do a similar topic, and I go, "Hey, I have one of those." I'm not telling them that so that they think I'm telling them to stop doing it.
Yes.
I'm telling them so if they ever hear mine, they don't go, "He picked up shit from me."
Yes.
And then started doing that. It's like, nah, man, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say something entirely. So,
although, what a great thing to say to people if you're like, "Oh, that's a great topic." I'll just start doing a bit on that. Just tell the guy I have one of those stories.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That is true. Yeah,
it's sinister.
What's your bit like? It's a lot. It's pretty much the same.
Layered.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's a little deeper than yours. I take it like another level.
You see somebody who's not doing it well.
Yeah, you kind of.
Well, I'll just improve that.
I just kind of have different angle, better, more.
Better angle. Oh, mine's just better.
Mine's just more thought. I had a director one time. I did a play here in L.A. Who we would do in rehearsal. He would be like, all right, like at the end of the scene, let's take it again from the top, do it again, this time just better.
That's a good direction.
And that we'd be like, just do the whole thing better. And he was like, yeah. And he was totally serious. Like, just start it from the top. This time, everybody, let's just do it better. We're like, better is not fucking...
I honestly don't know if that's great or awful.
Right. It makes you think. You're like,
yeah.
Hey guys, let's all be better this time. Seriously. Like that could be like on a basketball drill. We'd be like, let's step it up.
Right.
You know,
but were there times where you would do it again and you would feel like, and he would acknowledge that was better?
That was, yes. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, sure.
And could you feel the difference, or was it like I just did
there was
the same
also
thing?
I remember one time where I remember like we really had a great we did a live show of it, and he was like, that time whatever you guys did there, that was great. And we were like, also the audience was awesome tonight. Like I wanted to tell him like because it was a comedy.
Yes.
And then the next night he was like, not as good. But like, there's 7 people here tonight. Like that's why last night was full.
Good.
Yeah.
Like he was just like he basically was the kind of person like if everybody laughed, you did a great job. If there weren't that many laughs, he was like everybody sucked tonight. And you're like, dude, that's not directing.
There were not as many laughs as the night before.
You guys.
Now you might say it's because there's not as many people,
but
my job is to count laughs, not people.
As a director with an eye for this thing, it wasn't better than last night.
You should be able to get 300 people's worth of laughs out of 7 people if you're good at what you do.
If you know how.
If you know how.
Better.
If you're
Just
better.
do better.
Just do better.
That's like when your manager's like, this is good. This is great. Is there a way to make this funnier?
Oh, yeah.
Every anything you submit, you're like, I don't know. Is there? I thought it was.
Pitch your idea.
That's what I heard
like,
last time.
Why don't you beat it out more? You're like, that's it, though. That is the idea. There's no more to give.
Better?
I just gave you the idea. Like, where else can you go with it? What's wrong with what I'm just saying to you? I just gave you the idea. What do you mean more?
Where else can you go with it?
This is the idea is what I said it was.
Do you have any ideas?
I know. At least
anything
offer.
you would care to add?
Yeah, offer a suggestion.
I am open.
Thank you for coming here, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I had a blast.
Thank you.
It was so much fun.
It was really fun. Just a reminder, it is April 21st at 11 p.m. that you can see Paul F. Tompkins.
Laboring Under Delusions on Comedy Central.
Under Delusions. And you can also see him at Largo that night.
Wish you could see him dancing right now.
Oh, but you can't.
Christina and I will be in Ontario, the Improv this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
America's Ontario.
And come see my taping
Made in the USA.
April 3rd. I'll send out the link on Twitter, on Facebook.
That's very exciting, by the way.
It'll be fun. It'll be a really fun
I love
show.
the El Rey Theater, too.
Yeah? You like it?
Yes. That's a great lineup. It's a great venue.
And it's
that sounds like a fun. And I've seen that show. It's a fun show.
It's show. They basically you shoot sketches to your stand-up.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. So
yes,
come out and see us. Thanks again, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Paul F. Tompkins. You're awesome.
Then your album sounds whack. Son, you bore me with your war stories. You ain't even do that shit, so that's just more stories. How you expect us to take you seriously? The look of my eye, punk, has got you scared of me. I'm blasting your sons, I'm snatching your funds. You catch a royal ass whooping, you've been asking for one.
About to slap rappers around and reprove the game.
Be thorough to the end.